Dave Gasper.
Let's stay up all night long.
From Monroe Street to Lombardi Avenue.
There is your dagger.
This is your daily deep dive into the teams we love and the games we watch.
Touchdown, Wisconsin. And there it is. The Brewers will punch a ticket to the postseason.
Now here's Doug Russell.
Happy birthday, Nick. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you. Was it my frontal lobe done now? Is that what it is? 25?
I think it's 26. You got one more year.
Let's go.
Yeah. You got one more year being a knucklehead, and then you're ready to go.
I'm still growing up.
That's right. I mean, you just booked your first airline ticket. So, I mean, you're checking the boxes.
There we go.
Just checking the
And
boxes.
now I can rent a car if I need to.
Now you can rent a car.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's full-blown adulthood right
That's
there.
right.
Then the next box that you'll check is actually going ahead and renting that car.
Yeah, that'll be years. That'll be years. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're following the trajectory of my life.
Well, when you never leave the state, apparently.
That's right.
I mean,
I'm trying to think the first time I rented a car, I was probably 22. It was before
it's not allowed anymore.
It's not allowed anymore, but I did have to pay the extra insurance on it. So I was 23 because it was at my friend's wedding, and this is the 30th year of their wedding. This is their wedding anniversary, and it was down in Florida. It was actually not far from where Dave was, and Dave's back. Everybody,
Hey! Made it. I wish I was still down there. It was like 70 and sunny and warm and sunshine, and I come back to this.
Yeah,
it was, so I kind of wish I was down there, but it was fun. It was a great couple of days. Got to see Scott Boras, walking around. Got to see, Matt Arnold, Pat Murphy, all the Brewers Brain Trust, and a whole bunch of other baseball people. I saw Gene Segura walking around. Brett Phillips was there. Keon Broxton was there. Got to see him a bunch of times. I mean, it was great. Everyone in baseball seemingly was at like these hotels. So I mean, it was wonderful. You do a lot of double takes. It's like, wait, was that guy? Was that Tony La Russa? Was that Bruce Bochy? Yeah, that's Bruce Bochy.
The only thing that I can compare it to is when I was in Chicago for a number of years. I mean, they still have it, but the NBA scouting combine.
Oh yeah,
which is it was at Moody Bible College for a long time. I don't think it's still there. I think they moved it to Wintrust Arena, but on that side of town, you would go into any of the establishments, and then there would be kind of the same thing, NBA royalty, just like, and players sometimes too. It'd be like there's Ray Allen that walks by, and then there's Pat Riley who walks over here, and then there's Doc Rivers over there.
Yeah, no, like that's the exact same thing. Like the NBA combine, I feel like the NFL combine, same kind of thing. You got all the NFL people in one spot going to the bars.
I was at that this past year.
But yeah, MLB winter meetings are like basically that. You got everyone's kind of hanging out. It's like you just kind of like look over. It's like, oh, there's Chaim Bloom having a conversation with another GM. Like, oh, interesting. I wonder what they could be talking about. GM's on the phone. GM's on the phone. What could be happening? I don't know. You just kind of wait and see. Like then just like crisscrossing back and forth. Like, oh, passing. There's Jeff Passan. There's Ken Rosenthal. There's John Heyman walking around. Robert Murray. Like all those guys just crisscrossing on their phone, texting people all day. It's
you were in heaven.
I was in baseball heaven. It was fantastic.
You're probably the only person who in the state of Wisconsin that doesn't work for the Brewers that would recognize Chaim Bloom.
Yeah, probably.
Just saying.
Yeah. No. I mean, all the baseball people.
How short is Passan?
Not as short as Rosenthal.
Well, I know Ken.
It's a short man's game.
If you saw
you're
Ken,
the tallest guy there.
If you ran into Ken, you could have told him that I said hello because he and I used to work together.
Okay.
So
there we go.
Ken is not. He's not tall.
He's not. He was also working quite a bit. He's not super. I asked him one time because he was just kind of like walking through. I'm like, anything brewing, Ken? He's like, nah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, great.
You tower over him.
Yeah, that's true.
Of all the people that I've worked with in my entire life, I mean, you two might be on the opposite end spectrums.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, John Morosi's not tall either. John Heyman, I mean,
none of these guys are. Kirchin's tiny too.
Kirchin's tiny. Robert Murray's probably about average height.
Sherman,
John Heyman
probably very small.
Not that small.
Joel's
probably about
tall?
average. Maybe like 5'10" ish.
Who is?
He gives off short
Joel
guy
Sherman.
vibes.
Like 5'9", 5'10". Heyman maybe like 6 foot something.
6'7".
No, not
I mean,
not that much. That's
Is there
that's what
anyone
I'm
there?
closer to.
Were you the tallest guy there, or did you see Randy?
I did not see Randy Johnson. There were some other tall guys there that like I didn't recognize. But
You just
yeah,
see each other over the crowd every day.
there was a lot in like the 5'8", 5'9" range, and then there's a bunch in like the 6'4", 6'5" range.
Oh,
like
okay.
there's like seemingly like not much in between. Like it is all just kind of either like the short kings there or just the really tall guys.
Well,
like,
Matt Pauley was there. Matt
there's
Pauley's tall.
Yeah, Matt Pauley was there. Got to see him, talk to him a bunch. He says hello. Misses all
How's
his
he
friends in
recovering?
Milwaukee.
I think he had like an accident recently.
I didn't ask him about
did?
that, but he's doing fine.
He posted on X like a picture of his like bloodied face, like he fainted or something, and he ended up in the hospital. So I wasn't sure.
I have to check in on him then.
His face looked
didn't know
fine. It looked normal to me. So I didn't notice any issues with that. But
one of his kids probably, smacked him in the face. He's got 2 young kids.
yeah,
Just
that's
pow right across the.
yeah, that's
I didn't know that.
possible.
I'll have to check in with him on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, he was good. Got to run into former Brewers reliever Rob Wooten. He was down
As
there.
one does.
Yeah, of course. He's running this. He's getting on the business side of it now, doing some tech thing with player development. So it's like that's cool.
Okay.
Got to hang out with him. Got to meet a couple of agents as well.
Okay.
So that was a fun time. I met Willie Adamas's former agent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he told me he's an agent. I'm like, oh, you got any guys on the Brewers? As one does. And he's like, well, Willie Adamas used to be my client. I'm like, ooh, that was a sore spot that I just brought up.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Today is also, and tomorrow, the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. You can unwrap the power of a wish. Donate right now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. Unwrap the power of a wish, become a Wish Club or Diamond Club member now. So what we will be doing, and if you were listening to No BS this morning as well, we are scheduled in the 12 o'clock hour to talk with Shelby Woods and her mom, Sarah, a Make-A-Wish kid. And we will also hear from some other recorded interviews that our colleague Dave here in the building, Dave Michaels, did. We're going to hear later on in this hour from Gene and Sarah. We'll hear from Justin. We'll hear from Brian as well. And Forrest Doolin's running around from Make-A-Wish of Wisconsin. Maybe we'll pull him in for a couple of minutes as well, just to kind of talk about what this annually. I hope we continue to do it for however long we're a thing. But it is a really important time of year, and it's an important time of year to give back as well. But you can become a Kessler's Diamond Club member by donating $1,000 or more. You'll receive a bracelet plus a $500 Kessler's Splurge card, which will be mailed to you after the event. You can become a Wish Club member for $20 a month or by donating $240 or more. And when you become a Wish Club member, you'll receive a royal blue quartz and gold-filled beaded stretch bracelet with a wish charm, courtesy of Kessler's Diamonds. So the phone number is 877-272-WISH. And it is the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. And that will be filtering all throughout the day here on the Game Radio Network today and tomorrow. Okay. We need to get down to a little bit of business. Sharon Moore.
Oh, goodness. Oh. Yeah, that's... He got down to a little too much business from what I hear.
Yeah. So, fired abruptly yesterday. I don't know that anybody's had a worse 24 hours than Sharon Moore, but this had been building. My takeaway on this is going to be this. You had the world's dream job. You, for a football coach, were given a national championship team at a blue blood program, and you couldn't keep it in your pants. You have lost tens upon tens of millions of dollars. You will never be a highly rated Division 1A football head coach ever again. You might get, listen, some D2 school might hire you, some FCS school that no one's ever heard of might hire you. You were the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, and you couldn't keep your pants on. And at the end of the day, that and your temper got you fired and landed in jail. I don't know that there has ever been anyone who has been dumber in sports, and this is a high bar to clear.
That's a very high bar.
This is an incredibly high bar to clear. But I thought about it this morning.
Yeah.
I don't believe there has been anyone who has ever made in sports a dumber personal life decision. There have been guys that have snapped. We'll talk about OJ, who's just a bad guy. Maybe Sharon Moore's just a bad guy. I don't know. There are some similarities between Sharon Moore and OJ Simpson. Listen, Sharon Moore didn't kill anybody. OJ killed 2 people. So, there's that. There's
levels to
there are levels to it. I'm saying there are some similarities. Not everything. It's not a parallel, but there are some similarities.
But
we should set the scene. I know we're kind of diving for those that are unfamiliar. Michigan, of course, as we've highlighted, has fired their head football coach for having an inappropriate relationship with one of his staffers. He was
stooping the help.
He also elevated her and her title and her compensation in the process over the last couple of years. Her salary doubled. And he's married. He has 3 kids at home. He was the assistant coach when John Harbaugh was there. He replaced Harbaugh. He even coached. Excuse me. Yeah, Jim. John might be next. Who knows? Maybe John.
He might be.
Jim Harbaugh now with the
I don't want him in Baltimore anymore, it seems.
And it seems like yesterday, not only did he get fired, not only did this come to light, but he suffered some level of a mental breakdown and became aggressive, first for his own life, and then I believe potentially for someone else's life. So, yes, it is as ugly as it can get. I think a lot of people around here are not necessarily celebrating the details of the situation, but celebrating the downfall of Michigan football. I think that's kind of where most people are probably sitting. Happy to see Michigan's having some trouble. Probably not happy to see that family is being torn apart and this guy's life is now over. It's his fault, but level of empathy exists.
And how this all came about, too, was, he got outed by a DoorDasher who delivered Plan B to him. She blew the whistle on it, the DoorDasher.
Wow.
So that's kind of
So I was watching Scott Van Pelt last night, and he was interviewing. I forgot who he was interviewing, but he's like, there have been rumors about this for a long time. This has been the worst kept secret in Ann Arbor. So, interesting.
And then they wait until after the Ohio State game. They wait until after National Signing Day to say, oh, now we have conclusive evidence.
Well, you have to do, number one, you have to do your due diligence. You can't.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't just do it blindly. But, if everyone knew for the longest time, I just kind of wonder with it happening after National Signing Day, if there was kind of something to the timing here.
I don't know. The kids can now leave because if the coach leaves, the kids have a 30-day window in which they can leave.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's got to be ready.
Oh, yeah.
But still, you at least get, that kind of time to kind of find your next, coach, and maybe Biff Pogge's able to be the guy. Who knows? But yeah, you at least kind of get them signed and on campus, and it makes it a little bit more difficult for them to leave rather than, maybe pulling a Penn State where you just got no one signing.
I think there might be, unless they bring in someone who these kids are really familiar with, or a huge name like a John Harbaugh, for example. I think these kids are all going to jump ship. I think the timing, it's hard for me to imagine the timing being worse, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Unless they were playing in a national championship game, but they weren't, or a Big Ten championship game. The only thing that I think that the timing could have been worse on was if it were the night before the Ohio State game.
Yeah.
That's it. The timing here is horrific.
Yeah, because the entire hiring cycle is done, essentially. Everyone's got their guy.
It opens up that transfer portal window for the kids that you did just sign.
Yeah.
And now you're standing there holding yours while he was using his. Where he shouldn't have been.
So tough. No.
Nobody feels sorry for Michigan, but
a gentleman on X named John U. Bacon, who is not a fake account. He's actually the author of the Untold Story of the Edmund Fitzgerald, who came out on October 7th. So we trust this guy. He had last night that the mistress went to the university with documentation of the affair. And after he was fired,
probably a pregnancy test too.
Oh boy.
Moore apparently went to her house, grabbed a knife, threatened his own life, and then threatened her life, leading to his arrest. This is from one guy, John Bacon. He's 68,000 followers.
Yeah.
I feel he's a reputable source.
That story it's out there. I'm not surprised by it.
Conducted an internal investigation over the summer. Wow. Now they made that decision at the end of the year.
They would have been so much better off by firing him over the summer, having an interim coach for this season, and then having an entire year to make their plans to who their next coach could be.
Yeah.
If they knew months ago, then the university kind of gets what they deserve. This is the worst possible timing. The worst.
Yeah.
Because of signing day and because of, LSU got their coach late. Now Ole Miss, they just elevated their defensive coordinator. It was like, what are we going to do? All right, you go. You're the new permanent coach.
Yeah, try and keep everyone on this team that you can.
Penn State was scrambling to find a guy before they finally hired somebody.
I'm not going to lie. When I saw that Sharon Moore got fired for cause for an inappropriate relationship, and then I saw that he got arrested shortly after, I did kind of immediately think Penn State. I'm like, oh no, is this another Penn State kind of situation? Thankfully, it's not.
Yeah.
But because I was, traveling, I was getting to the airport, just kind of going around. Like I wasn't seeing like full details. I'm like, what? Because I couldn't really click on the stories, like, on the plane, and get anything. But it's like
an inappropriate relationship. How whitewashed is that?
Yeah, like that could mean anything.
Right. I mean, no,
that's true.
You were stooping the secretary is what you were doing. And I've seen a picture of her this is purported to be. I don't think she's a student at Michigan, but she's
30 something.
Is she 30?
Yeah.
Really young looking 30 something. All right, never mind then. Okay.
I saw that she was like 30 something. So she looks young.
See, Sharon Moore made the mistake of not having the inappropriate relationship with the 20 or 30 something baked in to his deal as a college coach.
Bobby Petrino did?
I was thinking more along the lines of Bill Belichick.
Oh, yeah.
He had that baked in, coming in. It's like, yeah, he got this relationship with someone who looks like a co-ed, but she's not. She got her bachelor's degree last year, so she's not a co-ed yet or a co-ed anymore. But yeah, he had that baked in. Sharon Moore should have gone that route. But.
CJ and Madison writes on the talk and text line, given the state of the NCAA, he may coach again at a high level. Rick Pitino seems to be doing okay after all of his scandals. Couple of differences. Rick Pitino has pelts on the wall, which should that matter? No. Does it? Yeah. And the other thing is, to the best of my knowledge, Rick Pitino never knocked up his secretary, nor did he allegedly hold a knife to her or himself and threaten to kill her.
And a very interesting angle to this entire story is that this also is connected to the Chicago Bears. Paige Shiver's dad is an executive scout for the Chicago Bears. Yeah. So, the Bears are now embroiled in this after what happened last year. Was it their defensive coordinator? Something happened with the Bears last year where someone had to step away because they were in an FBI investigation for, I thought, explicit imagery. I don't want to say de facto that that's the case. But yeah, all of this to say, and I think Badger Barstool put it right here. No drama, no allegations, no investigations, no affairs, just elite ball. Luke Fickell.
Well, he had me for the first little bit. But,
the first four, we got to get to that elite ball portion of it soon. But, hey, could be worse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke Fickell is scandal free, so.
That's right. He's a family man.
Got that going for us.
Let's see. Loggy from the 608. Bo Ryan had an affair with a staffer, which is why he retired abruptly. There was an untoward relationship. There's no question. I don't know if that's why he retired abruptly. There were rumors that that's why he retired abruptly. He admitted it. It's not telling tales out of school. He admitted it. So, yeah, put it this way. Sharon Moore is not going to be the first, nor is he going to be the last coach that has an affair with a staffer.
Yeah.
I don't want to excuse it. I think the sordid details beyond it now, I didn't realize that this woman was in her 30s. She looks young. I thought when I saw a picture of her, I'm like, she looks like she could be a student at University of Michigan. So if she's older than that, fine. Okay.
Yeah.
But you knock her up and then you threaten her life.
Not a good look. Not a good look. So, I mean, and now, I mean, you look at Michigan, what are they going to do? I mean, for their head coach. And I just got to say, Lane Kiffin could do something really funny right now. Lane could do something really funny, and he would be the person to do it.
And if there's anyone who would do it,
it would be Lane.
It might be Lane. All right. We're going to take a short time out. We've got Matt LaFleur coming up. He's going to meet the media at about 10:45. We'll see how much. Well, he was late yesterday, so we'll see exactly when he does meet the media. But we will bring that conversation to you at some point, whether it's live or as live. But coming up next, we're going to hear from Gene and Sarah as our Make-A-Wish-a-thon continues here on the Game Radio Network. This is the Wishful Giving radio event. It's presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Doug Russell, Nick Briswitz, Dave Gasper, who's back in the saddle again. It's D.N.D. on the Game Radio Network. Stay with us and hit us up on the talk and text line, the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line, 877-794-1973. We're back in a flash on the Game.
There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo and so much. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch.
Donate right now to Make-A-Wish during our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Go to radiowishes.com or call 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Want to watch D.N.D? They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
I like him even more.
Just search 97.3 The Game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1972.
In May, the Rolling Stones spend the year recording in southern France and released the double album Exile on Main Street. It goes to #1 in both the U.S. and the U.K. California band the Doobie Brothers score a hit off their second album, Toulouse Street, with the single Listen to the Music. More from the summer of 72, Curtis Mayfield is back on the charts with a soundtrack for the film Superfly. The album yields 2 top 10 hits with Freddy's Dead and the title track. And former Zombies keyboardist Rod Argent has a hit album and a #5 single in the US and the UK with Hold Your Head Up.
Hold your head up. Hold your head up. Hold your head up. Hold your head up.
Harry Chapin's performance of the song Taxi on The Tonight Show 2 nights in a row leads to a hit. And struggling UK band Mott the Hoop will get help from fan David Bowie, who produces their album and writes them a hit, All the Young Dudes, which peaks at #3 in the UK and in the top 40 in the States.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1972. Coming up. Now, Spotlight, 1975.
In June of 75, the Bee Gees released the LP Main Course, featuring a more dance-oriented sound, and delivered 3 hit singles, including the #1 Jive Talkin'. In July, Fleetwood Mac shake things up. They add Americans Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks to the lineup and have a #1 album. And Wings released the album Venus and Mars, which goes to #1. Their U.S. tour features Paul McCartney's first live appearance in the U.S. since 1966.
I love is fine for all we know. For all we know, our love will grow. That's what the man said. So won't you listen to what the man said? He said.
In August of 75, the Eagles' 4th album goes to #1 and has 3 top 5 singles, including the #1 title track, One of These Nights. And the boss, Bruce Springsteen, is featured on the cover of Time magazine, and Born to Run becomes his breakthrough album, reaching #3 in the U.S.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1975. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1967.
Try to set the night on.
January of 1967, Los Angeles band The Doors released their debut album, which eventually goes to number 2, and features the single Light My Fire, which goes to number 1 in July. The Rolling Stones released Ruby Tuesday, an ode to a groupie written by Keith West, in March. And San Francisco band The Jefferson Airplane released the surrealistic Pillow album, scoring 2 top 10 hits with White Rabbit and Somebody to Love.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love.
In March of 67, Buffalo Springfield re-releases their debut album to include the hit single For What It's Worth. In April of 67, Give Me Some Lovin' by the Spencer Davis Group goes to number 7 in the U.S., with vocals by 17-year-old Steve Winwood. And in May, Elvis Presley marries his 21-year-old girlfriend Priscilla. In May, Mitch Ryder hits number 4 with Devil with a Blue Dress, Good Golly Miss Molly. And the Jimi Hendrix Experience released their debut in the UK. In July, they toured the US as the opening act for the Monkees in support of the US album release.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1967 coming up.
We call it Wagertainment.
All right, place your bets, place your bets.
VSiN every night at 6. Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest on Fox Sports 920.
Welcome back in. It's D.N.D. Doug Russell, Nick Bruzewitz, Dave Gasper. This is the Wishful Giving Radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Unwrap the power of a wish. Donate right now at radiowishes.com. That's radiowishes.com. We also have a phone number for you, 877-272-WISH. Unwrap the power of a wish. Become a Wish Club or Diamond Club member now at radiowishes.com. And we want to thank our silver sponsor, Habish and Rotier, and also our sponsors, Carmex and Design Air. Throughout the event, every donation will be matched by the Dina Hatch Foundation of up to $10,000. And it's just, we're so blessed to be able to work with Make-A-Wish of Wisconsin and, hearing some of the stories of how these kids who've been impacted by these terrible diseases, sometimes the best medicine is just getting away from the hospital. The hospitals do incredible things. Children's Hospital of Wisconsin does amazing work. But sometimes for the soul, what you need is just to get away from the hospital. Our Dave Michaels down the hall recorded this interview with Jean and Sarah, and we wanted to bring that to you now.
The relationship that Make-A-Wish Wisconsin has with so many families here in our own area is truly something special. The experiences, the stories these families are willing to share, very personal stories, is why we do what we do during our annual Wishful Giving Radio event. One of those families, the Nyland family from the city of Milwaukee. Jean is a Wish mom. Jean, how are you? Good to see you again.
I'm doing great. Thank you. It's good to see you.
Tell us a little bit about not only yourself, but your daughter, Sarah.
Well, I am single mother of 4. Sarah's 3 siblings are quite a bit older than her.
Sarah was diagnosed with liver cancer.
Called hepatoblastoma.
When was she diagnosed?
She was 10 months old when she was diagnosed. It was very random that it was caught. She was at a well baby checkup, and the doctor was examining her abdomen like they do. And her spleen felt weird to him. So he had us go for an ultrasound right away. Literally walked from his office to the ultrasound, and they found some spots on her liver, but the way they looked, they didn't look like anything concerning. They looked pretty benign. Maybe 10 days later, we saw the liver specialist. This all happened really quickly. We were able to get in. And the next day, I got a phone call from his nurse saying that Dr. Talega, who was her liver doctor, wanted her to be admitted to the hospital immediately. And he said, her AFP is elevated and we need to get on this right away. I have no idea what that is. What is that? She said it's a tumor indicator. There's not much of that day I remember after that.
A lot of tears.
A lot of tears, a lot of, it's really hard to talk about sometimes because of how it went from absolutely nothing. We were at a well baby check to, we're admitting a 9-month-old baby, and hearing the words cancer in conjunction with your 9-month-old just doesn't compute that a baby could have cancer.
Your baby daughter did.
Yes, she
Sarah.
did.
She got the treatment she needed.
did.
It was a long process.
It was, yes.
In that process, though, you were introduced to Make-A-Wish Wisconsin.
Right.
What was Sarah's wish?
Well, Sarah had a wish that we call her ultimate play date. We spent the weekend at a hotel at the Hilton downtown, where she was given a ballroom as her playroom for the weekend, and it was stocked with toys. We had the best suite in the house for the weekend.
Sarah's wish was in 2018.
Yes. It means so much to the families. You go through so much with her illness and with her treatment, and then people think that after treatment, everything just goes back to normal, which it doesn't. Your life is just irrevocably changed. And helping these kids and seeing the people that help them is it's just so important to help these kids out because they've been through so much. The appreciation that we have is kind of unspeakable. I can't tell you how grateful that her wish was granted in such a fantastic way.
And that's the impact Make-A-Wish Wisconsin has on families like Jean, her daughter, Sarah. That's the impact you have when you donate to Make-A-Wish Wisconsin. Call 877-272-WISH or visit radiowishes.com.
All right, thanks very much, Dave, and thanks to Jean for telling the story of her daughter, Sarah. Again, unwrap the power of a wish. Donate right now at radiowishes.com or call 877-272-WISH. And again, thanks to all of our sponsors. You can become a Kessler's Diamond Club member by donating $1,000 or more, a Wish Club member for $20 a month, or by donating $240 or more. And when you become a Wish Club member, you receive a royal blue quartz and gold-filled beaded stretch bracelet with a Wish charm, and that's courtesy of Kessler's Diamonds. Forrest Doolin from Make-A-Wish Wisconsin is going to join us coming up straight ahead and tell us a little bit more about where your dollars go and some of the other stories that we're going to be telling throughout today and tomorrow, as our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds continues. And we'll also mix in some business of the day as well. Dave Gasper's back. He'll have a top-of-the-hour sports report. Also, Matt LaFleur, we'll hear from him as the Packers get ready for the Denver Broncos on Sunday, 3:25 kickoff at Empower Field. It's D.N.D. on this Thursday, December 11th. Stay with us on the game.
In every mistake, and always give more than you take, but more than anything, yeah, more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanted to.
To donate to Make-A-Wish and give families the experience of a lifetime, go to radiowishes.com or call 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Stay tuned.
Yes.
D.N.D. will be back in just a moment. What does the future hold for our beloved Giannis?
Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agent, Alex Saratas, have started open conversations that are active right now with the Milwaukee Bucks about the realities of whether his future is best staying in Milwaukee or the realities of moving on elsewhere.
Make sure to stay tuned as we're discussing the latest regarding the Bucks icon here on The Game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1978.
In June of 78, Darkness on the Edge of Town is released, Bruce Springsteen's follow-up to his breakthrough album, Born to Run. The album charts at number 5.
In the darkness on the edge of town. In the darkness on the edge of town.
Boston-based band The Cars released their debut album. It goes to number 18. It features the singles Just What I Needed and My Best Friend's Girl.
She's my best friend's girl. But she used to be mine.
In July of 78, the Rolling Stones released Some Girls in the U.S. The album and the single Miss You both hit number 1.
Won't
In August of 78, Boston released their sophomore album, Don't Look Back. The album goes to number 1 in the U.S., selling 4 million copies in its first month.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1978. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1974.
In April, Diamond Dogs is a number 1 album in the UK for David Bowie. It goes to number 5 in the US.
Rebel, rebel, you torn your dress. Rebel, rebel, your face is a mess. Rebel, rebel, how could they know? Hot tramp, so.
In June of 1974, Chicago funk band Rufus, featuring lead singer Shaka Khan, score a number 3 hit with Tell Me Something Good. UK supergroup Bad Company have a number 1 album and a top 5 single, Can't Get Enough.
Can't get enough, enough of your love. I can't get enough, enough of your love. I can't get enough of your love. Yeah, this one, this one. Oh, come on, baby.
And Dutch hard rock band Golden Earring have a number 13 hit with the single Radar Love.
We've got a light in the sky.
Red I love. Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1974. Coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Carlos Santana to discuss how collaborating with Neil Sean and Greg Raleigh came to be once again.
Neil's vision. Neil Sean had this vision to reunite us again and rekindle that vision. So he's the one that had the thirst to ignite everything, and I'm glad he did. Because he stayed on me for about almost a year, and I was busy with Santana. He was busy with Journey, and Greg is busy with Ringo. He's playing in Ringo Starr's band. But we finally got together, and it's such a joy. We all thank Neil for having the pursuance to do it.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Santana and
And welcome back in. It's D.N.D. for this Thursday, December 11th, 2025. But more important than that, it is the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Joining us, Forrest Doolin from Make-A-Wish Foundation of Wisconsin. Hi, Forrest. How are you? It's good. It's always good to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Really happy to be here.
All right. Tell us a little bit about, I was trying to think about this the other day. The first time that you and I had ever worked together on anything Make-A-Wish has probably been 16, 17 years or so. I don't know how long you've been with Make-A-Wish.
No, I think that's about right, because I've been with Make-A-Wish for 18 years. And it probably was about 16, 17 years when we first started working together.
So in that time, I don't know how many wishes Make-A-Wish has granted. I'm just thinking about, the time that it's always been an organization that's touched my heart, but just the sheer number of wishes that Make-A-Wish grants. And as I was saying before, we heard a moment ago from Jean talking about her family with Sarah. Children's Hospital does amazing work. Amazing work. But sometimes the best medicine is to get away from the hospital.
Right. That's exactly what Make-A-Wish does. Matter of fact, a lot of physicians will prescribe a wish because they know the difference that can make. We've heard physicians say sometimes, I can't give parents and kids the best news, or I can't give them always instant hope, but I can give them hope through a wish come true. And that's exactly what they do, because when Make-A-Wish comes into the picture, everything changes. It's a game changer for these kids. It's a game changer for their families, and it gives the kids and their family something to look forward to and something exciting and something positive. For some of them, it completely overshadows the medical condition. And suddenly, instead of being in just this dark space, they're in something that's really light and amazing.
We all strive to find the right job, the right career for ourselves. And it seems like this is one you certainly are passionate about and one that you've dedicated your life to. So how fulfilling is it for you to try and just be a part of what brings these kids so much happiness?
Oh, I mean, I love what Make-A-Wish is about. I loved seeing, and I've had the privilege over the last 18 years. I've seen a lot of wishes granted. Matter of fact, I actually played the part of Shrek for her wish. Right. And so to see these experiences and be part of them, it's that part is exceptionally fulfilling. However, also I think one of my favorite things about Make-A-Wish is that it's not about like a few employees at Make-A-Wish. It's about entire communities that are gathering together around these families, that are rallying around them and are working together to provide these wishes. Because it takes an entire community to grant these wishes. I remember this little boy named Brady. And I was at his wish experience, and Brady was a 6-year-old who was living with mitochondrial disorder, and he was limited to a wheelchair, and he wanted playground equipment for kids like him. He wanted it for him, but he wanted it really for anybody. So we worked with the local park, and they were able to install special equipment and put in this special section of the park. And Brady got to see it all being installed. He got to put his hands in the cement, and he had his own little hard hat. And unfortunately, a few days before the dedication of the park, that part of the park, Brady passed away. But his family still wanted to go on and in his honor and memory. And I'll never forget it. It was a small community, and there were over 300 people from this community that came out. Wow. And at that moment, when I saw this 300 people there for this wish experience and this celebration, that's what told me it's about community. It is about everyone gathering together, and that's the great thing. Anybody and everybody can be a part of making these wishes come true.
Yeah, and not only is it just kind of making those wishes, just come true in that moment for us. I mean, it's keeping that connection with them, with the family, long after that wish has already been granted.
Yeah. We have our Wish Alum program. And so, I mean, we have wish kids that are participating in events that had their wishes granted 10, 15, 20 years ago. And it's great. I mean, I got to see Anna. I get to see Anna regularly. If you remember, Anna's wish was to meet Aaron Rodgers, and it was featured on ESPN.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
And she was 12 years old at the time, and Anna is now 27.
Oh, wow.
And I got to go to her high school graduation, and I've gotten to go to some of these moments, and she stays involved and she continues to share her story. And a lot of these wish kids, I mean, they want to give back, and they use their lives. So many of them go into the medical profession because they know the impact that, they know what they've gone through, and they want to make sure that they provide good things for other kids.
Anna's 27 and Aaron Rodgers is still playing football. What are some of the more common, I mean, I think we all hear about Disney World, and John Cena's been so involved in Make-A-Wish over the years. Brett Favre was so involved in Make-A-Wish during his playing career as well. So what are some of the more common ones? And then what are some of the, I don't know if I'd call them oddball ones, but what are some of the ones that maybe have taken you by surprise a little bit?
Sure. So, I mean, travel wishes are very popular. So besides Disney, I mean, this year we've been granting a lot of Hawaii wishes.
Okay.
Just a tremendous amount of kids wanting to go to Hawaii. We've had actually a lot of international wishes this year as well. So and actually the number one request so far this year has been Japan. So we've had a lot of wish kids wanting to go to Japan. But also, I mean, we're granting wishes every single home game at the Packers this year.
Sure.
So a lot of those sports wishes are very popular. But also wishes to have like an outdoor play set, or to have a sensory room, or to have a room makeover, like have their bedroom makeover. Those are pretty common. Gaming computers, we're still granting a lot of gaming computers, which makes sense, especially for a lot of the teenagers. That's what they're into.
I guess. Yeah. Right.
So, yeah. So, I mean, but the wishes are as unique as the kids that wish for them. One of the most unique ones that I was a part of was Lincoln. Lincoln wished to have a camper so he could find Bigfoot and feed him marshmallows. That was like the full description of the wish.
And Lincoln was 17. No, I'm kidding.
He's 16 now, but his wish was granted 10 years ago.
When he was 6.
We took him on a hike, and at the end of the hike, there was a camper. And he had like a little Bigfoot hunting kit with him, and he made a kind of a call out with this noisemaker. And all of a sudden, from inside the camper, he heard a response and opened the door, and there was Bigfoot sitting on the floor of the camper. And Bigfoot is 7 feet tall, so he got out of the camper very carefully And Lincoln literally started shoving marshmallows in his mouth immediately. And they danced, and it was just this pure moment of joy.
If you need another Bigfoot, Dave's 6'7". So
there we go.
6'8". Yeah.
I'm sorry, 6'8". I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, he had to say 6'7".
Right.
So.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
It's been explained. What does that mean? Nothing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
No. How have the kids essentially changed over the time at which you've been doing this? I'm sure, interests were certainly different. You're talking about gaming computers. When you started this, probably not something that kids were rooting for, looking for. Like,
right.
How have the wishes changed? How have the kids changed in the time?
I think one of the biggest changes I've seen is the celebrities that they wish to meet. Back then it was Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus and, some of these guys. Now it's all these YouTubers, people, many of whom I've never even heard of. Like I have to look these up and go, who's this? Who's this?
Yeah.
That's been the biggest change and biggest shift I've seen. I mean, we've had kids wishing for computers. It's not, now it's gaming computers, but years ago it was for just a computer or an iPad or something like that. But the biggest shift I think has been the celebrities, because I rarely see your traditional actors or singers. It is almost all influencers and YouTubers and
all Mr. Beast.
Yeah, right. We just granted a wish to meet Mr. Beast a few months ago, and it was there were a lot of kids from around the country that were wanting to meet him, so they did a big group experience for those kids, and they all got to spend some time with him, and so I think that's been the biggest shift.
Who would you say is probably the best celebrity or the favorite that you've worked with, personally, like interacted with that's been great for the kids?
I mean, I had the privilege of seeing a number of the Packer wishes, and the Packers as an organization, I mean, they're kind of second to none. They just go all out, and they really make it special for these kids. I mean, Matt LaFleur, he gets engaged, and Aaron Rodgers was a fantastic wish granter. I mean, he did really good with those kids. And Mason Crosby was always outstanding with the kids. And Jordan Love is starting, to show that. I mean, I just think the Packers as an organization, just they do it really well. And the Brewers do the same kind of thing. I mean, they just go all out.
All right. For our listeners that want to get involved, because we do this every year, it is the Wishful Giving Radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. The website is radiowishes.com. The phone number 877-272-WISH. When somebody makes a donation, where does that money go? How does Make-A-Wish work when somebody says, I will support Make-A-Wish?
So that money is going directly to making these wishes come true. The average cost of a wish right now is about $9,000 in cash. And we've got 400 wishes in the pipeline right now. So 400 kids waiting for their wishes. And our goal this year is to grant 437 wishes. So that money is all going to go to granting those wishes and making those wishes a reality.
Forrest Doolin from Make-A-Wish, thank you for coming in. Thank you for doing all that you can. What can you tell us about some of the wishes that we're going to hear from later on today? We've got Justin, Dave Michaels, talked to him, but coming in at about 12:20 here on our show, we've got Shelby Woods and her mom, Sarah.
Yeah. So Shelby, when you asked earlier about crazy or interesting wishes, Shelby wished to meet a unicorn, and we made that happen.
Okay.
So it's a pretty cool story. It was actually one I got to be at and see granted.
Who got to be the unicorn?
Shelby got to meet.
Oh,
it.
Who
got to be it?
Yeah, who got to be the unicorn?
We had a unicorn.
Oh, you found a unicorn?
Yeah. We found a unicorn. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This wasn't a man dressing up. This
real life unicorn.
Deal. Yeah.
A real life unicorn. Forrest, thank you so much for coming in. We always appreciate you. It's always great to see you. And we can't wait to hear Shelby's story. Her mom, Sarah, is going to be with us as well. But we've also got Justin and Brian's Make-A-Wish stories coming up in the 1:00 hour today as well. So Dave Michaels did an amazing job with all of the all the stories as well. So kudos to him, kudos to you guys, and thank you for doing all that you do with Make-A-Wish. It's such a great organization. I'm so blessed to just be a tiny part of what you guys do, because you guys are unbelievable.
Well, thank you.
All right.
I appreciate it.
All right. There he is. Forrest Doolin from Make-A-Wish of Wisconsin, joining us here on D.N.D. All right. Let's set up the next hour or so here on the program. Dave, you got top of the hour sports update coming up. There's been a lot of weird stories in sports, Forrest. I'm not going to lie.
I've been hearing
in the last 24 hours or so. It's been kind of nutty. Also, the Badgers played basketball last night. Kind of.
Did they? Yeah.
Sort of. They got drubbed. So it leads me to the question, last about 12 hours ago on the J&K Security Solutions basketball postgame show. Is this basketball team overrated? Have we overrated this Badgers team? Because they've gotten blown out now twice. Now, they've been blown out by two good teams, but they've been blown out twice now. They got drubbed last night by Nebraska. They lost by 28 points at BYU a little bit earlier as well. So from 24/7 Sports, Badgers beat writer Nick Osen is going to join us coming up a little bit later on in the program as well. We'll have Bruiser's Bites. We'll hear from Matt LaFleur. He is going to meet the media. Hasn't stepped to the podium yet, but he will. And once he does, we'll bring that to you right here on D.N.D. We do want to tell you, again, about the Wishful Giving radio event. It's presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Unwrap the power of a wish. Donate right now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. Become a Wish Club member, $20 or $200 or more. Any Wish Club member, you will get a royal blue quartz and gold-filled beaded stretch bracelet with the Wish charm on it. That is courtesy of Kessler's Diamonds. That's a $75 value. You can also become a Kessler's Diamond Club member by donating $1,000 or more, and you will receive that bracelet plus a $500 Kessler's Splurge card that will be mailed to you after the event. Also, great silver sponsors for us as well. Habish and Rotier, and also a Carmex and Design Air. Carmex is so important this time of year, and my lips are really dry right now.
They need it. Yeah.
Really, really dry right now. So thanks to all of the sponsors for that. And throughout the event, every donation will be matched by the Dina Hatch Foundation of up to $10,000. The Dina Hatch Foundation, I'm not familiar with the Dina Hatch Foundation.
So they actually came to us because of this radio event. Years ago, they heard the radio event on air, and they came to us, and now they give about $50,000 a year to help grant wishes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they're outstanding.
Unbelievable stuff. So, and we'll be you're back tomorrow with more kids and more stories.
Absolutely.
As well. Also going on over on. So if you're listening in Milwaukee, you're hearing these stories also on our former radio home in Milwaukee, now B97.3. So that's some of the work that Dave Michaels has been doing as well. But we're out again throughout the state here on the Game Radio Network, including our flagship station now, 1070 The Game in Madison. We've got a lot of sports to talk about. We've got a lot of Make-A-Wish stories that we're going to tell over the course of the next 3 hours as well. We're going to lead things off next hour with the top of the hour sports update with Dave Gasper, as well as Nick Osen. He's going to join us coming up at about 11:35 today as well. Bruiser's Bites coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. And it's also Nick's birthday, by the way. So happy birthday to Nick. So,
happy birthday, Nick.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
There we go.
The big 2-5, 25 years old.
He can rent the car now.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's made it.
All right. 1 hour down, 3 hours to go. Stay with us. It's D.N.D. on the Game.
More than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanted to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold.
This is the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Every donation will be doubled by the Dina Hatch Foundation up to $10,000. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. You are listening to D.N.D. with Doug, Nick, and Dave.
This pains me to say this, but Dave's right.
Hey, why does that pain you to say? I'm right quite a bit, I think.
Middays here on the Game.
Baby, right.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Fleetwood Mac songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Don't Stop.
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop using me. It'll be better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone.
Number 2, Dreams. Number 1, Go Your Own Way.
You can go your own way. Go your own way.
Hear more from Fleetwood Mac and similar artists now. Search for Fleetwood Mac on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. iHeartRadio.
Here are the top John Mellencamp songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Hurt So Good.
Hurt so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Sometimes love don't feel like it should. Baby, hurt so good.
Number 2, Small Town.
No, I cannot forget from where it is that I come from. I cannot forget the people who love me. Yeah, I can be myself here in this small town. And people let me be just what I want to be.
Number 1, Jack and Diane.
Oh yeah, life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. To walk on.
Hear more from John Mellencamp and similar artists now. Search for John Mellencamp on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1976.
Bob Dylan releases his album Desire. It goes to number 1 in the States, thanks mainly to significant radio airplay for the single Hurricane.
Couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game.
Scottish sensations the Bay City Rollers finally score a hit in the U.S. with the number 1 single Saturday Night.
Saturday night.
In February, former Steve Miller Band member Boz Scaggs has a number 2 U.S. album with Silk Degrees. Peter Frampton hits number 1 with his double live album Frampton Comes Alive. It would become the best-selling album of 1976.
I want you, show me the way every day. I want you, show me the way night and day.
In March, Irish hard rockers Thin Lizzy's 6th album, Jailbreak, scores them a number 12 hit single with The Boys Are Back in Town.
The boys are back in town again. Been hanging down at the nose.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1976, coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Carlos Santana to discuss the importance of melody in his music.
For me, mainly, everything that I learned from Alice Coltrane and John McLaughlin, Wayne Shorter, it's always about melody for me. The essence is always 2 things, 2 undeniable things: spirituality and sensuality. That's like when you breathe in and you breathe out. That's natural, normal. But for my role as a musician has always been to come up with a melody or a theme that brings it all together, all the ideas together. And they all come together with a melody.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Carlos Santana and all your favorite artists.
What you waiting for? Let's go. Make sure to make us a preset on the iHeartRadio app so you can listen to us anytime, anywhere. Wisconsin's home for sports and stuff. We are the game.
He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Dave Gasper.
Well, Wisconsin men's basketball delivered a dud last night, falling to the Nebraska Cornhuskers 90-60. Nick Boyd had 20 points for Bucky, but John Blackwell just 7 points on 1 of 11 shooting.
Made his first shot, missed his next 10.
Not great, Bob.
No.
Not great.
No.
So Wisconsin.
I hope they're not overrated. I really hope they're not overrated.
I hope so too, because I want to be excited about this team. I mean, they seem like such a fun group, but the consistency so far is lacking because they dominated Marquette. So it's like, oh, hey, this team's kind of clicking, and then all of a sudden,
the effort was lacking last night, though, too. Defensively, the effort was lacking. They put up bad shots. They stopped going with what was working, and Greg Gard talked about it after the game. with Butchie and with Matt and said, yeah, I mean, we were settling for bad shots. We were taking off triple shots. It was, I mean, we didn't have any kind of cohesive offense, and it spilled into the defense.
Yeah, and speaking of playing poor basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks play tonight, hosting the Boston Celtics.
Well, that's a hell of a segue, Dave. I'm not going to lie.
Thank you. They tip off at 7 p.m. The Celtics have won 5 in a row. The Bucks have lost 2 in a row. Giannis is still out, and they are not playing well. So, but they play tonight at Fiserv.
Against the Celtics.
Yep. So that's going to be
playing really well.
We've been playing really well. So,
right. So let's keep coming.
Exactly. But hey, I mean, you did call it last week, Doug. You know, when they were playing so poorly against Washington, then the Pistons come to town and just be like, watch this be the game that they win. And sure enough, they won.
Yeah,
even
but
though Giannis got hurt.
But they have to have a dog crap loss the day before.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. They've been practicing for a couple of days.
Yeah.
So,
but they are coming off some losses. So who knows? It's possible.
Yeah.
Thursday night football tonight, Atlanta Falcons and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Big game for Tampa. They are currently tied with Carolina Panthers at 7-6 for the NFC South lead. So they need to get a win there to keep pace, because the Panthers have made themselves a legitimate contender here.
They're a better team than I think any of us thought they were. And even when they played the Packers, they were 4-4.
Yeah.
So
but only one team's making the playoffs out of that NFC South. No one's getting a wild card.
Yeah, that's a very, very mediocre division.
Well, and look at this year. Everybody as a 10-point underdog has lost, except for the Panthers, who have beaten the Packers and the Rams as 10-point underdogs.
Yeah,
they have won some very impressive games. They've played poorly against bad teams. So I think the Panthers have every shot to win this division, because I just don't know what Tampa Bay is. If they lose tonight, if the Bucks lose tonight, they play the Panthers 2 of the final 3 weeks. So it's really just going to come down to those head-to-head matchups.
Yeah, which is going to be incredibly fascinating. But you don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball going into it. So you got to get yourself a win here. The Falcons already eliminated. They got nothing to play for, but they can be spoiler for a
and they're
division
wearing
rival.
alternate uniforms tonight too.
Of course they are.
They got the creamsicles for the Bucks, and then the all black. Honestly, it's a pretty cool look. I saw someone say it's going to be a uniformagami tonight.
Yeah, but
first time they've ever seen this matchup of uniforms.
But okay, Doug, the orange creamsicle Buccaneers uniforms. I mean, those got to bring a win. I mean, those are classics.
The way I look at, I mean, they are classics, but the way that I look at all of these throwback uniforms is, if they're so great, why did you go away from them in the first place?
Yeah.
They remind you of a bygone era. And I think that the throwbacks are fun for fans.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers went to the pewter for a reason, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
A new identity.
A new identity. They've won Super Bowls with that identity. They didn't win it with the swashbuckling Buccaneer face on the side of the helmet.
When I think of the creamsicles, my first memory is Josh Freeman in them. And he was a terrible quarterback for them in like the early 2010s. I think Josh Freeman might have even worn them against the Packers in a game.
I remember the first, it's not the first Buccaneers game that I recall, because I'm a little bit older than that. But the 1985 Snow Globe game at Lambeau Field, where it was, I mean, you couldn't get to the stadium. There were only a few thousand fans that were able to get there. Now, they counted it as a sellout because all the tickets were sold, but nobody could get to the stadium because there was so much snow on the ground. They actually played that game, and the Packers, I think they won the game. I'm not sure if they won.
didn't. They did it. The 0-7 Buccaneers beat the Packers
in the snowblower game.
In the one I'm thinking of, actually,
in '85.
I'm conflating. It could be. You're probably. $7. Josh Freeman's first career start. Creamsicles beat the Packers. Packers 1985. Bucks Packers. We'll see what that one was.
That was they call it the Snow Bowl.
Let it snow. Dominated 20.
Forrest Gregg was the coach. Lehman Bennett was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach. It was broadcast on CBS. Jim Hill and John Dockery on the call. Attendance 19,856. Those were the only fans that were able to get to the stadium. And listen, they had trouble selling tickets when they played at County Stadium sometimes in the 70s and then especially into the 80s when they weren't very good yet. But Lambeau was always sold out. So all the tickets were sold.
Yeah.
They had, so capacity was about 60,000 at that time. So about 40,000. Yeah, about a third full, about 40,000 no-shows who couldn't make it to the stadium.
Yeah, that's tough. It's
including the official curator, Packers franchise, who that was going to be his first ever Packers game, but his dad couldn't make it to the stadium. It's like, I'm not driving out in this stuff, and it had to be delayed.
Oh man, it's a tough scene, and and it ends up getting delayed. And what's getting delayed is the release of Sharon Moore from jail. He is still there after her.
Well, you brandish a knife,
night,
allegedly
brandishing a knife after getting fired from his job at University of Michigan because he had an inappropriate relationship.
He knocked up his side piece
with his secretary.
Allegedly.
Was that?
Get actual footage of the conversation
of the HR conversation.
Jerome Moore getting fired yesterday.
That's just big J journalism, Doug.
You get the brass J for today.
I get the big brass J.
Is that a J? No, that's the J.
That's reverse. Yep, there you go.
You got the big brass J for today,
mirrored,
but for actually getting that actual footage.
Actual footage, yeah.
That's incredible. Good work on your part.
Incredible, thank you.
So, the one thing that I will say is that, so apparently the woman in question that he had the affair with, 31 years old, looks like she's 21, to be a student at the University of Michigan. She is not. She's 30. So he's 39. She's 31. So the age appropriateness is fine. He is married.
Yeah.
He does have 3 kids.
The other appropriateness.
Yeah, he does have 3 small kids. It goes against his contract, and he was her superior at the University of Michigan and was in charge of doubling her salary, that's what makes it inappropriate. Generally, when husbands cheat on wives, and listen, it happens every day in America, it happens every day around the world.
Yep.
Coaches with a lot of money feel like they've got privilege and they can do whatever they want. It happens in all walks of life. It happens more often when you've got more money, but it happens in every walk of life. I don't condone it. I don't excuse it, but it's just a fact of life. But what makes this inappropriate is the fact that he was her boss. And what makes it even worse is allegedly what has got him in jail right now, because you don't get thrown in jail for cheating on your wife and knocking up your side piece. You do get in jail for threatening someone with a knife.
Yeah. Excluding the knife part of it, is this better or worse than the Coldplay couple when they got caught cheating at that concert?
Well,
when they're just like, oh no, the knife thing makes it obviously
they lost
way
their
worse.
jobs though too.
Yeah,
but this is
and that
worse.
was his HR person,
right? So Dave said aside from the knife. So aside from the knife, how's it worse?
I would look at it and I would say that one of them in this instance is clearly inferior in the totem pole of power. And I get that the other one was his HR. It's a little bit different. They're 2 very grown adult professionals, roughly the same in total stature. I mean, I get the other guy was a CEO, and for whatever her career, I can't speak to what the woman at the Coldplay concert's career was. So, Dave,
I mean, she was the chief HR officer.
I mean, that's a top position in a company this is
the secretary
of a massive entity.
Sorry, executive assistant.
And this is, just a staffer that he arbitrarily elevated probably in recent years. Plus, I think that the ages of the kids involved in both situations, Sharon has young children.
Yes.
The others had grown adult, even one of which that was on a yacht posting videos and making light of it. The gentleman involved in the Coldplay concert's daughter was on a yacht posting funny TikToks about the whole situation.
Well, if you can't laugh at that. But again, what makes it not funny is the whole brandishing the weapon thing.
None of it's funny.
No, none of it's well,
it's a little funny.
The brandishing the knife takes it out. The brandishing the knife takes the funny part out.
Yeah,
it is, because that's dangerous. I'm sure that the young woman involved is who, by the way, is complicit for sleeping with her boss. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got to bear some responsibility for this too. I know there's a power dynamic, but if this woman is 31 years old, she has her frontal lobe completely formed. Nick will get that about a year from now when he turns 26.
Almost. He's almost there.
He's almost there. She's been able to rent a car now for 6 years. So the cheater and the cheatee, they both share some culpability in this. She does not share culpability for her getting her life threatened. That's, the step that.
Yeah. A little too far.
Yeah.
It can take you till your 30s, it says.
Oh, can it? Okay.
I'm probably in that boat. I got
self-awareness. It is.
Is that part of the development of your frontal lobe?
Might be.
It could be. It could be. All right. Did we hit on everything, Dave?
Yes, we did. Final update. James Pagel just came by and restocked us on some pizza. So there we go. So that's the last update. We got some frozen pizza. We got some Palermo, some Screaming Sicilian.
Thanks, buddy. That's James Pagel, the pizza maker. Thanks to our friends at Palermo's for stocking the freezer.
Yeah,
in the control room.
There we go. So we may have to make one later on here.
We might have to celebrate by making.
I think so.
Screaming
Sicilian.
A pizza. All right, coming up in the next segment, we're going to hear from Matt LaFleur, who I believe has met the media in Green Bay. He was scheduled to a while ago, so we will play that conversation with reporters back. Also, we will hear from Justin as our Make-A-Wish Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds continues. And coming up a little bit more than an hour from now, we will have Shelby Woods and her mom, Sarah, in to tell their story about Make-A-Wish. So we got a lot to get to. Very busy Thursday, December 11th. It's D.N.D, Doug, Nick, and Dave. It's Nick's birthday, and Dave is back from Orlando. So we're back to full strength.
Yeah. So it's been a while. It's been a couple of days.
And then Nick next week will go on vacation to Miami, and he'll actually get to leave the state.
Oh, there we go.
So
happy for you, Nick. It's warm down there in Florida.
Are you staying on Miami Beach or Miami the inland? We need these, Nick. We need these details. Come on, man.
I'll figure it out next week. Okay.
Okay. Gotta let us know.
That's why I want it to be a surprise.
I've got restaurant recommendations for you if you depending upon where you're staying.
We'll see. We'll see. Sounds like jet skis and yachts are involved.
Okay, so closer to the beach, probably.
That's fantastic. We're gonna need some digital assets, by the way.
Yeah,
probably.
All right,
I'll get them for you.
Sweet.
Yeah, well, we got to text your brother and
local radio host hospitalized after trying to jump jet ski.
His girlfriend in tears at the hospital.
Yeah.
It's D.N.D, Doug, Nick, and Dave on the game.
I bet there's rich folks eating in a fancy dining car.
You are listening to the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Become a Wish Club member for $20 a month, and you will receive a royal blue quartz and gold-filled beaded stretch bracelet with a wish charm, courtesy of Kessler's Diamonds. Become a Kessler's Diamond Club member, and you'll also receive the bracelet plus a $500 Kessler Splurge card, which will be mailed to you after the event. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1978.
In June of 78, Darkness on the Edge of Town is released, Bruce Springsteen's follow-up to his breakthrough album, Born to Run. The album charts at number 5.
In the darkness on the edge of town. In the darkness on the edge of town.
Boston-based band The Cars released their debut album. It goes to number 18. It features the singles Just What I Needed and My Best Friend's Girl.
She's my best friend's girl. But she used to be mine.
In July of 78, the Rolling Stones released Some Girls in the U.S. The album and the single Miss You both hit number 1. In August of 78, Boston released their sophomore album, Don't Look Back. The album goes to number 1 in the U.S., selling 4 million copies in its first month.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1978. Coming up.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Eagles songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Life in the Fast Lane.
He was too tired to make it. She was too tired to fight about it. Life in the fast lane surely make you lose your mind. Life in the fast lane. Life in the fast lane. Everything. Oh.
Number 2, Take It Easy.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels make you crazy. Come on, baby. Don't say maybe.
Number 1, Hotel California.
There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely place.
Hear more from the Eagles and similar artists now. Search for the Eagles on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all year spotlight.
In February of 77, 60s band leader Manfred Mann has a new number 1 hit with the cover of Bruce Springsteen's song Blinded by the Light. In March, Foreigner released their debut album. It goes to number 4 in the U.S., driven by 2 top 10 singles, Cold as Ice and Feels Like the First Time. Philadelphia blue-eyed soul duo Hall & Oates have their first U.S. number 1 with Rich Girl from their 5th album, Bigger Than the Both of Us. Fleetwood Mac's album Rumors is released. It's their 2nd number 1 album in a row in the U.S., dominating the charts at number 1 for 31 weeks. It spawns 4 top 10 singles, including the number 1, Dreams.
When the rain washes you clean, you know.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1977. Coming up.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
When Marlon Shirley was 5, he lost his foot. Today, as the world's fastest amputee, he runs the 100 meters in less time than it takes to listen to this. Overcoming, pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life.
Started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, it was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep, and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke, and she's taking a drag. Now they're going to bed, now my stomach is sick, and it's all in her head, but she's touching his chest.
Now he takes off her dress. No, I can't sing. I'm going to let Brandon Flowers do that for his band, The Killers. 2 things about this song, 3 things. Number 1, total banger.
Oh, absolutely.
Number 2, they play this at Michigan games, kind of like they play Buttercup at Camp Randall.
Yeah.
Or Jump Around. Jealousy, turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis.
Oh, their alibi fell apart.
Yeah, this is a song about cheaters. This is a song about stalkers.
Yes.
And they sing it so joyfully. at the big house.
Yeah.
Google AI
Yeah.
says it's a song about intense jealousy, paranoia, heartbreak after discovering a lover's infidelity.
Oh man. That
Kinda
just
what I
means
said, but yeah.
that just means Sharon
I
Moore
know.
goes
I just-
from it just means
Giving you
Sharon
the full breakdown.
Yeah.
it
I
just,
like the AA breakdown. That's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it just means Sharon Moore goes from the big house to
The big house. Hey-o!
Hey!
Oh, come on.
It was right there.
Well,
I mean,
allegedly. It's true. They'll probably be some.
Are they doing Buttercup still at Camp Randall?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'm in
You
the
were
press
there all.
box.
You were at every game,
and I
Nick.
thought
Well,
I
except for
missed it
one.
Except for
I thought I missed it every time. When you were in
Nick,
the
how
crowd,
much do you
Dave, did
pay
they do it?
attention at these games?
You don't hear it in the press box, especially when you're chatting it up and you got Lance Allen talking to you. I mean, it's
Oh
like,
yeah, Lance Allen doesn't
Lance
stop
is telling me
talking.
his whole life story, and I'm just trying to. Not
Lance Allen's a bit of a chatterbox.
Yeah.
He likes to
Good
talk.
man.
I mean, we all like to talk.
put
We
him
work in
on-
radio.
Listen, we love these guys, and we say this with nothing
love.
but love, admiration, and we love their work. But if you got Lance on one side and Casey on the other, you're not going to hear it.
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
Just
I
saying.
didn't hear it this year. I wasn't sure if they were doing it.
I'm
Dave,
just
did you
saying.
sing it while you were there?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I
Alright,
partook
that's
in
good.
the festivities.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just like shocked of what was happening on the field in most of those games. I was like, just checked out. All I was hearing is ringing in my ears while down 30 points to Iowa.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
This-
If they don't do Buttercup, they might as well not do Eat As You as well, which is
They don't.
that is
again,
time honored.
I don't think I saw that at most of the games this year.
Dave, was there an Eat As You the game you went to when you were sitting in the stands?
Not that I recall.
Okay.
No,
Did they clean
might
that
have
up? Did they
cracked
not
down
do
on
that?
it.
Because I heard
Manukin might have cracked down on it.
well, that's that's no good. That's for the kids.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
that's one of the, it's a time honored tradition. That's like the fifth quarter.
Oh yeah.
That's as
Yeah.
storied.
Which
as
I
that.
didn't get to see because we were storming the field
Right.
during that game against Illinois. So
Somebody let us know if they were at Camp Randall regularly this year. Was there still the student section, the Eat As You this year? Let us know on the talking text line 877-794
Chips.
1973. All right, we ready for Matt LaFleur, Packers head coach, as
Yes,
the
we
Packers
are.
get set to meet the 11-2 Denver Broncos coming up on Sunday. Here's the coach, Matt LaFleur, earlier today. that do it? All right, thanks, guys. That's Packers coach Matt LaFleur meeting the media before the Packers Thursday practice as they get set to take on the Broncos on Sunday. Of course, this is our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Speaking of storytellers, not just Sean Payton, but also our Dave Michaels, and he brings us now the story of Justin.
Just want to take a moment as we approach the holidays to say thank you to all the amazing volunteers, medical providers, donors, and yes, supporters who work tirelessly throughout the year to give kids battling critical illnesses hope, joy through a wish come true. You can provide that same joy for a child with a critical illness here in southeastern Wisconsin when you donate to Make-A-Wish Wisconsin during our annual Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. I encourage you to visit radiowishes.com, radiowishes.com to donate. And when you do, know that you're helping kids like Justin, who joins me on the phone right now. Justin, thanks for being a part of our Wishful Giving radio event today. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing perfectly. How are you doing today?
Inspired. To answer your question, a few years ago, you learned that you needed a heart transplant due to dilated cardiomyopathy.
It was late August of 2017. Your typical couldn't really keep anything down, had flu-like symptoms, becoming jaundice, and my mom had her motherly instinct and was like, something's wrong. So
how old were you at the time?
I was 16 when I first got diagnosed with all this.
And generally speaking, no health issues up until that point?
Nope, nothing. Not at all. Perfectly healthy.
But after multiple hospital visits, it was discovered that you basically needed a heart transplant. You were diagnosed with dilated cardiomyopathy. In layman's terms, what does that mean, Justin?
So my heart wasn't pumping blood at, the best rate of speed. My heart ended up forming a blood clot in my left ventricle due to, I guess, the stagnant of blood or whatever because of that pumping.
At 16?
Yeah, at 16.
At a time when you should be breaking hearts with prom and homecoming, here you are now facing the reality that at a very young age, you're going to have a heart transplant. I understand it was successful. How you doing now? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm healthy. As you know, I just got sworn in on December 1st at the city of Portage.
You want to be a cop?
Yes, I'll be a cop.
And I understand you're going to the police academy in January.
I will be doing it in Madison starting January 12th.
After your heart transplant, Make-A-Wish Wisconsin entered your life. What was your wish that you wanted to have granted for you and your family?
We ended up going to the Pro Bowl in 2020.
Nice.
During the NFL's 100th season. It definitely brought a joy to my face.
And none of that would have been possible without the generosity of so many wish givers here in southeastern Wisconsin to make what Justin just described happen for him and his family. I would encourage you to go to radiowishes.com, not only to learn more, but hopefully donate. Remember, if you become a Wish Club member, that's a $20 a month donation or a one-time gift of $240 or more, you will get a royal blue quartz and gold-filled beaded stretch bracelet with a wish charm, courtesy of Kessler's Diamonds. But more importantly, you can support a mission that helps make life-changing wishes. A wish, as Justin just unpacked, clearly vital. You can make that happen when you go to radiowishes.com.
Thanks, Dave. Again, unwrap the power of a wish. Donate right now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. And he wanted to go to the Pro Bowl. So, when we were talking to Forrest, that might have been one of the ones that are a little bit more, maybe a little more out there. But listen, hey, the Pro Bowl.
It's sports related.
It's sports
It's not
related.
to watch the game. It's to see all the sweet players that are there.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's what the Pro Bowl has kind of turned into. So glad he's doing well and he's going to be a cop. And God bless him. And we wish him a long and healthy and just incredible career serving the public, because at the end of the day, that's what police officers do. They serve the public. And it's one of the most selfless jobs that is out there. All right, coming up next, Nick Osen is going to join us. He's making his way back from Lincoln, Nebraska, where the Badgers men's basketball team got just demolished last night. We'll check in with Nick on the other side. It's D.N.D. on the game.
You are listening to the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Want to watch D.N.D? They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
There you go.
There we go.
Just search 97.3 The Game.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Foreigner songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Hot Blood.
I show you loving like you never knew. That's why I'm hot-blooded. Check it and see. Feel the fever burning inside of me. Come on, baby, do you do more than dance?
Number 2, I Want to Know What Love Is.
Change this lonely life. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me.
Number 1, Cold as Ice.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Hear more from Foreigner and similar artists now. Search for Foreigner on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Prince songs you've thumbed up. Number 3, Little Red Corvette.
It was Saturday night. I guess that makes it all right. You say, baby, I ain't got enough gas. Oh, yeah. Little red Corvette. Baby, your mind's too fast. Yes, you are.
Number 2, 1999.
2000 party over. Oops, out of time. So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999.
Number 1, When Doves Cry.
Baby, you're just like my mother. She's never satisfied. Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when doves cry.
Hear more from Prince and similar artists now. Search for Prince on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1973.
Ain't it time we said goodbye?
The Rolling Stones are back on top with the #1 album in the US and the UK and a #1 single, Angie.
Come on, baby.
Let's Get It On is a #1 single and a #2 album for Marvin Gaye. Also in August of '73, Stevie Wonder is back with the #4 album, Inner Visions. And Florida band Leonard Skinner released their debut album, had a top 20 hit with Freebird, and tour opening for The Who.
Won't you fly free, yeah.
Fast forward to October, where on their 8th album, the Steve Miller Band debut a smooth blues rock sound and score a #1 hit with The Joker.
I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I sure don't want to hurt no one.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1973. Coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Rick Springfield to get some insight on his latest release, Rocket Science.
It's a guitar-based record for sure, and I love big hooks, and not a country record at all. It's a rock and roll record, but it does have some country elements.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from Rick Springfield and all your favorite artists.
iHeartRadio soundtrack flashback.
Shaft hit theaters in 1971, and its soundtrack by Isaac Hayes grabbed a few Grammys and an Academy Award for Best Original Song, the theme from Shaft.
Who's the black private dick that's a sex machine to all the chicks? You're damn right.
For more great movie soundtrack hits, check out Popcorn Radio on the iHeartRadio app.
I gotta keep rolling. Ooh, I'm driving my life away. Looking for a better way.
Well, that's what our next guest is doing. He's driving his life away, ostensibly, probably, I'm guessing, through I-47 Sports, who we last talked to about
13 hours ago.
Thank you. Math is hard. 13 hours ago on the J&K Security Solutions basketball postgame show. Nick Osen, where are you exactly right now as you make your way back from Lincoln?
Yeah, you guys are spot on. Driving through Iowa, I should know a little bit better because I lived here for a while, but this is a little deeper than I was. I would say I'm about maybe an hour would be west of Des Moines. So about 4.5, 5 hours left of the drive.
Okay, so if you're about an hour west of there's a little town called Stewart that's probably not far from where you are. There's probably a town called Casey, not too far from where you are. And as you move your way and get your way a little bit further west, you're going to go through a DeSoto and a Van Meter. So you got that to look forward to.
Yes, you're on it, Doug. I appreciate that, man.
Anytime. All right. I guess the first question that I have is, about midway through the first half of last night's game, we had a tie ball game. It was 21-21. Looked like it was a pretty good ball game that was going on at the time.
Yeah.
What happened after that?
Yeah, Doug. So this was a little bit of my evaluation, and I would say I felt a little bit validated in speaking with Nolan and Coach Gard and just looking back at some answers this morning. Look, I think that they got a little bit, we'll say, disappointed with missing some threes, some open looks, some a little bit covered. That happens. But then they also were kind of getting beat on the defensive end. And the way that they both told it, specifically Nolan, I think that they let those defensive struggles translate to the offense, right? Kind of when you're upset about something in sports or in life, maybe you'll make a big move to try to make up for it. And so I think they were trying to kind of punch all at once, maybe continue to get threes in bunches rather than still sticking with their game, taking time, rotating the ball. Now, I do think that Nebraska improved some of its perimeter ball pressure a little bit, and they certainly get credit, like I said last night, for their performance. I mean, that's a good team, but I think that Wisconsin got away, Doug, from what they were doing so well offensively. I mean, I don't think any of us would have been shocked, right, going in if you said Wisconsin loses this game 80-74, right? Nebraska's good. The Badgers were a slight underdog, and that kind of would have been a fine performance. But just the way it kind of fell apart like an avalanche, it's not something you see too often in this program. We've seen it a couple times in the last 3 weeks, and it needs to get cleaned up, Doug.
Nick, that's about as frustrated as I think I've ever seen Greg Gard in a post game. It's the largest loss in his tenure at head coach. What do you make of how Gard reacted last night?
Yeah, Nick, I thought it was perfect and really spot on. I thought that he was short in a couple moments, but then kind of went on to explain things. So I think he was being authentic. I mean, he should be upset, but I also felt like his answers were very honest and they made sense, right? I can think of one specifically early on, referring to maybe benching some guys. I'm not sure if that happens, but good coaches can't just be the guy's best friends all the time, right? Sometimes you have to send a message, and I'm getting close to kind of thinking that with this group. I don't think that anybody would really doubt the offensive talent. I've said on all of my respective shows with you guys, my friends, that I was a little bit worried about post play coming in, and guys would have to grow up quickly. Now, that obviously looks a little bit clairvoyant, and that's going to be a struggle at times. But I think that Gard was very accurate with things. I expect some really tough practices in the next 5 to 6 days. I think there should be. I love the emotions that Nolan Winter showed with our little media group as well. There were just 2 or 3 of us speaking with him. I mean, it's in their words, guys, it's unacceptable, and this program's obviously much better than what we saw last night.
Nick, the last time I talked with you back on Saturday after the Marquette game, we were talking about John Blackwell and how he's a superstar here, coming off a superstar level performance. Last night, 7 points, 1 of 11 shooting is not a superstar level performance. So what did you see from Blackwell yesterday?
Yeah, Dave, honestly, it certainly wasn't his best performance, but I thought at least 7 or 8 of those were good shots. I mean, I can think of 1 or 2 open threes. I can think of a drive. Now, he might have forced a mid-range or 2. But, sometimes your star is going to do that. I just think it speaks a little bit to what I said that they were just trying to make something happen offensively. And it just wasn't happening. Basically, once you hit, I'd say really 12, 13 minutes, into that first half. I think that there were a lot of struggles, and the guys were just trying to kind of figure out anything that they could do. So it was far from his best. I thought that there were struggles defensively for the group as well. But obviously, and you weren't saying this at all, Dave, but it was on just about everybody that played in this one.
So as the Badgers now begin to, after the first of the year, get back into Big Ten play, they've had now 2 blowout losses and against good teams. I don't want to take anything away from Nebraska. I don't want to take anything away from BYU. Those are quality programs. Nebraska now 10-0 on the season. Both teams, BYU and the Cornhuskers, nationally ranked. But my question to you is this. When things start to get a little bit out of control, because through the first half, it was close most of the way, and then it just snowballed. How do you avoid that snowball effect from the game getting completely out of hand when you do miss a couple of shots, or when you do have your best player, as you and Dave were just talking about, when you do have your best player, John Blackwell, go cold?
Yeah, Doug, it's a great question. It's kind of the question of the night. How I would answer it, look, I think that I would take a little bit of what Nolan said. It needs to be from within. It needs to be player-led leadership. Guys, relax. Guys, we're still very much in this thing. Like, you're not going to win every game, right? And you're going to struggle at times against really good teams. That happens with just about everyone. But we're not used to kind of this blowout avalanche effect like you referred to. So I would take it from within. I also think schematically, and I know that Guard was not happy about this, like, the team was in the bonus. I mean, the offense was working enough to either be scoring or drawing some fouls, getting to the cup a little bit. I understand you don't really have a Steve Crowell this year or kind of some of the stars you've had in the post, but you can't get away from that fully. I understand it can be a 4 or 5 out type of offense, guys spreading the floor and shooting from deep, but you just can't fall into those patterns, Doug. And I think that I would point to verbal communication, connectedness, and player-led leadership.
Nick, to transition to college football, we felt like Penn State was as messy as it could get. And now Michigan has quite the doozy on their hands, having to let go Coach Moore yesterday, and now he's in custody. I know you got some counterparts, I'm sure, in the Michigan market, but I just want to get your take on that situation and how it might benefit Wisconsin if some of those players were to enter the portal.
Yeah, Nick, I was texting with some people this morning, even just kind of friends in general, about the craziness. And I think it went from, wow, that's a heck of a story, crazy week in college football, to, oh my goodness, this is a little bit sad and scary, right? When you hear about people being detained, and I think I read that he was, kind of in a mental health spot right now, and there were kind of some scary things being thrown around. So I think that is a little bit, not a little bit, it's a crazy situation coming out of Ann Arbor, no question. And, bigger than football, you obviously just hope that nobody gets more hurt than what is likely. Obviously, some families, a lot of families are going to be affected. In terms of Wisconsin, if some players that basically recently got into the program or were signed on, if it was really because of Coach Moore and the coaching staff, then I think there could be potential of, guys that would look back at Wisconsin if the Badgers were interested or had room. Like an Aiden Reeder, who was a longtime Badger commit in this past class, just signed on, so he can't even be on campus yet. Mikhail Blade, a 4-star edge that was also in this class. But I also, always want to be accurate, Bruce, and let people know, and this is somewhat of a compliment. Obviously it comes at a crazy time, but Michigan, there's kind of a lot of brand recognition with that school. Obviously, they've had levels of success throughout our lives, and so some people might just be attached to the school. And I know that some recruits were talking like that as well. Even though they might have liked the staff, hey, we want to see what they do next, or hey, we want to see who they bring in and things of that nature. So I'm keeping an eye on it, but I'd say I'm probably watching the portal and older guys a little bit more closely, just because I know that the Wisconsin staff wants to get older too.
He is Nick Osen from 24/7 Sports, joining us on the road as he makes his way back from Lincoln, Nebraska. By the way, I know it's about lunchtime. As you approach DeSoto, there's like Ambrose Roadhouse. Looks like it's a good place for lunch if you need to get some food on the way back. We appreciate the time. And again, safe travels back, and we'll hope to talk about some better news when we speak next, as opposed to a 30-point blowout by the Badgers on the road against the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
I always love speaking with you guys. Thank you so much for the time, Doug, and the crew. We'll talk soon.
All right, looking forward to it. There he goes, Nick Osen from 24/7 Sports, joining us here on the Game Radio Network. The little town of DeSoto, Iowa. Let's see, they've got a Tractor Supply Company. They got a Quick Star.
Ooh, okay. I mean, a Quick Star, a.k.a. Quick Trip, but that's just what they call it in Iowa.
Sure.
I mean, that's always a great place to stop to get some food.
Yeah. Let's see. If you go a little bit further as he makes his way closer to Des Moines, there's Rube's Steakhouse in Waukee, Waukee.
Okay.
So they're just trying to give him some options. Nobody should have a road trip and go hungry on their road trip. Come on now.
No, you can't go hungry on that. Yeah, you got to find the spots. Oh, there's a Culver's coming up there around what is that? Is that Waukee? There's a Culver's.
I think the farthest I've ever driven alone was like 3 hours.
Well, we can just keep checking boxes on Nick's
we need to
25th birthday.
Quite a road trip.
Nick, you should drive to Miami.
Stay with us. More coming up on the game.
Today and tomorrow, we're holding the annual Wishful Giving Radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Hear incredible stories of how Make-A-Wish has impacted the lives of so many incredible families in our area. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. You are listening to D.N.D. with Doug, Nick, and Dave.
This pains me to say this, but Dave's right.
Hey, why does that pain you to say? I'm right quite a bit, I think.
Middays here on the Game.
Should I stay or should I go?
Will Giannis stay or will Giannis go?
Giannis has not gone up and said, I want to be traded. Giannis has just expressed frustration, and his agent has had to be sort of the guy behind the scenes that has talked about stuff. And so I understand that what people want is, does he want to be traded or not? It's a simple yes or no question that doesn't have a simple answer, because he's elected to try to go through the process without having a firm decision. He's just not thrilled with where they are, but he doesn't know if he wants to go forward.
We're talking about the latest news on the situation here on the Game.
Well, come on and let me know. Should I stay or should I go?
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1971.
February, 4 months after her death, Janis Joplin's album Pearl is released and goes to number one. The single Me and Bobby McGee also tops the chart. Bill Withers hits number 3 with the single Ain't No Sunshine from his debut album produced by Booker T. Jones. In March of 71, Carole King releases her first solo album and scores 2 number 1 singles, I Feel the Earth Move and It's Too Late. And UK progressive rockers Jethro Tull have a top 10 album on both sides of the Atlantic with Aqualung.
Running down his nose. Greasy fingers smearing shabby clothes. Hey, Aqualung.
In April, the Temptations topped the charts with Just My Imagination, their third number 1 and their 13th top 10 single. Three Dog Night have their second number 1 single with Joy to the World. And the Rolling Stones album Sticky Fingers is released, including the number 1 single Brown Sugar.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1971. Coming up.
And now a look back at This Week in History on iHeart.
1901, Italian physicist and radio pioneer Guglielmo Marconi succeeds in sending the first radio transmission across the Atlantic Ocean, disproving detractors who told him that the curvature of the Earth would limit the transmission to 200 miles or less. The message, simply the Morse code signal for the letter S, traveled more than 2,000 miles. Jumping ahead, this week in 1978, half a dozen masked robbers raided the Lufthansa Airlines cargo building at JFK Airport in New York, making off with more than $5 million in cash and almost $1 million in jewelry. To this day, the Lufthansa heist, as it's known, is considered one of the most legendary in U.S. history. This week in 1980, American oil tycoon Armand Hammer pays over $5 million at an auction for a notebook containing writings by the legendary artist Leonardo da Vinci. It contains 72 loose pages featuring some 300 notes and detailed drawings. And this week in 2009, Avatar, a science fiction epic helmed by Titanic director James Cameron, makes its world debut in London and goes on to become the highest grossing movie in history. Starring Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, and Sigourney Weaver, the box office mega hit was praised for its state-of-the-art technology and earned 9 Academy Award nominations. Cameron wrote the script for Avatar in 1994. However, at that point, the technology didn't exist to produce the movie he wanted.
And that's what happened. Thanks for listening to This Week in History on iHeartRadio.
Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1975.
In November, Queen's fourth album is a worldwide smash with the single Bohemian Rhapsody. It hits number 1 in the UK and number 4 in the US. Fast forward to December, Bob Marley and the Wailers released their live album recorded at 2 concerts in London in July. And Paul Simon has a number 1 album with Still Crazy After All These Years. The album produces 4 top 10 hits.
Hop on the bus. You don't need to discuss much. Just drop off the key and get yourself free.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1975. Coming up.
Attention, please. We are the gang and the home of D.N.D. with Doug, Nick, and Dave. Weekdays from 10 to 2, live 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Watch the show on YouTube, Facebook, and X by searching 97.3 The Gang.
He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Dave Gasper.
Well, the Milwaukee Bucks play tonight, hosting the Boston Celtics at Fiserv Forum. Tip-off will be at 7 p.m. The Celtics have won 5 in a row. The Bucks have lost 3 of their last 5. They sit at 10-15 on the season, and it's been a rough go for them. And Boston, they're 15-9. They've lost, obviously one of their top players for the season, but they got the 3 seed. The Bucks, even at 10-15, holding on to that 10th seed in the NBA. So they're still in that play-in tournament range.
They're not that far away from. They're only a couple of games away. I don't know the exact number, but it's not insurmountable that they would be the number 4 seed right now in the Eastern Conference playoffs.
They're 5 games back of the 4 seed.
That's not insurmountable. The way that they're playing is insurmountable. The lack of talent that they have on their team right now is insurmountable,
especially with no Giannis.
Right. Also, 5.5 games from the worst record in the East.
Sure. There's that flip side, Nick. Thanks for
and they lost.
Thanks
to
for bringing us
Wizards.
down. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
This is not a good basketball team. They are, any way you slice it, they are just not very good.
The thing is, too, like the top 9 teams are at worst 3 games above 500. And then it's the Bucks 5 games below 500. There is a clear discrepancy between the two.
Yeah.
They win tonight. They win tonight. Things start changing.
Yeah, they're 11-15.
Birthday magic.
It starts tonight, baby.
There we go.
Right. They know it's my birthday.
That's right.
The performance will be reflective of their opinion on me. So we'll see however they do. That'll tell you exactly.
The most memorable basketball game that I've ever been to
get shut out.
Was probably on my birthday back in 1989 when they played 5 overtimes against the Seattle Supersonics. Also, the same day, and my dad wanted to leave, but it was my birthday.
Your birthday by the end of it? Was it the next day?
That's a great question. I think it was still hanging on. So if it started at 7, I mean, 5 overtimes. They're only 5 minutes, but it was a 5 overtime game. It was like 155 to 154. I wouldn't let my dad leave the Bradley Center early because it was my birthday.
Yeah.
He's like, but I got to work the next day. I'm like, yeah, I got to go to school the next day. But that was also, fun fact, the same day, same year, same day that the Berlin Wall fell.
Wow. There you go.
November
Now
9th,
that is a fun
1989.
fact.
Yes, sir.
Fun facts with Doug.
Fun facts with Doug. That would have been my 17th birthday.
And how about that? They won.
Yep, they did.
But
Yeah. It's
Dale
the
Ellis
longest
played for the
game in
Sonics.
NBA history.
And I was at it.
There
the
you go.
longest game in NBA
And you didn't
history.
leave early.
I didn't leave early.
You did not pull a
24-second
Zabin.
shot
God, my
clock.
dad was so pissed.
Didn't
Yeah.
ale.
But they won.
But they
so-
won.
So you can't be that bad. Now, if you stay that late and they lose, that's tough.
The real kicker was that when he worked like a block from the Bradley Center. He worked in, well, it's still there, what was the Henry Royce building, the blue building downtown.
Yeah.
4 hours and 17 minutes. So you're talking about 11:17 roughly when it ended.
Sounds
so
about
still
right.
your birthday.
There you go.
Happy birthday to me.
Not a great day, not a happy day for TJ Watt. Some breaking news in the last little bit. TJ Watt's currently in the hospital for further medical evaluation of his lung. He
Ugh.
experienced some discomfort at practice, and his status for Monday is in question.
So
for a release from the Steelers.
Schefter reports his lung injury occurred during treatment at the team facility Wednesday. He's been hospitalized since. Is this a Tyrod Taylor situation?
Or where they stabbed him and collapsed his lung?
Dr. David Chow stabbed him in the chest, and then Justin Herbert became the starter.
Wow.
This Nick Herbig, next man up.
There you go.
I guess
Badger.
so. Yeah, there
Let's
you go.
go.
And so, but that's going to be something to watch for your Steelers there, Nick, as that's coming through.
I
And
know.
also, breaking news in the last couple of minutes as well in Major League Baseball, Robert Suarez has signed with the Atlanta Braves for 3 years, $45 million. He was the top remaining reliever out on the free agent market. He was with the Padres. He now goes to the Braves for about the same amount of money as Devin Williams went for to the New York Mets. But that's another closer off the market. And I have to imagine this is going to amplify the market for Trevor McGill, because we saw rumors at the winter meetings that there was a bunch of interest in Trevor McGill, including from the Mets and the Yankees. And now with the Mets missing out on another relief option, perhaps David Stearns turns to Trevor McGill and gets him in the fold via trade. That's a very real possibility. But Robert Suarez now off the board, going to Atlanta. We're seeing a bunch of activity. We've seen it the past couple of days. We also saw rumors come out last night that the Freddie Peralta trade market is really getting some traction now. At least 6 teams are in on Peralta. The Red Sox, Yankees, Giants, Orioles, Mets, and Astros are the named teams in the Freddie Peralta market. Not only is he drawing interest, Trevor McGill, as I mentioned, and Nick Mears getting interest as well.
I just
Any
wish
of
that
those
this
teams-
team. No, go ahead, Nick.
I was just saying, any of those teams cause a stir for you emotionally that you wouldn't want them to head there, like Red Sox, Astros, Yankees, Giants, Orioles?
I don't want to see him on the Yankees, but that's just kind of, an in general thing. But I mean, the Brewers, they traded Devin Williams there, and they got Caleb Durbin out of it. So that turned out pretty well. So, I mean, there's none of those that I'm just kind of like, no, like please don't send him to him. And there's that basically be like NL Central teams or the Dodgers. I don't want him going to NL Central or the Dodgers
or the Yankees,
or the Yankees. But yeah, I mean, it's all about who's going to provide the best offer and who's going to meet the Brewers' asking price, which is incredibly high.
I hate the fact that we're talking about subtracting and not adding.
Yeah, I do too.
For a
But
team that
they
won
add by
97 wins.
subtraction.
Yeah.
They subtracted last year and they added wins. I mean,
Well, what
that's
did they give
happened.
up? Well, I mean, so they let
Willie walk.
Willie walk to the Giants.
Yep, and they traded Devin.
And but when they traded Devin, what did they trade? I mean, I've never been sold on Devin Williams long term. I mean, he's had some flashes of absolute brilliance. There's no question about that. The airbender pitch, he's a rookie of the year, had a fantastic start to his career with the Brewers, but he's also between the ears. I don't know what's there. And I was just never sold on him as a long-term option.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of want to look more at, Trevor McGill as a trade possibility. I think that would make a lot more sense for the Brewers. I mean, given the closer market right now, strike while the iron's hot, get a good price on him. I'd rather they do that than trade Freddie Peralta because, I mean, you can more easily replace a Trevor McGill. You got Abner Uribe there.
The closers are a dime a dozen. I mean, you look at the all-star closers that the Brewers have had over the years, just in the last
what they do
15 years. I mean, they use them, they churn them out, and then they go somewhere else, and they usually fail. Not always, but they usually fail.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. So just move them along, and you got plenty of other candidates for it.
From a Freddie Peralta perspective, it's not going to happen. But like hypothetically, if the Rockies were the team, would you want that?
I don't even think the Rockies have any players that would interest the Brewers.
No, my thought process here is you like Freddie. We all love Freddie.
Sure.
If you send him to baseball Siberia, I think that'd be a D-bag move, right? I mean,
he would only be there for 1 year because he's not staying there long term. But
send him to. I mean, I was going to say Pirates, but you don't want him in the division, of course. But
the
else
Athletics
is just terrible. Yeah, I mean the A's. I mean, seriously.
So I mean, it's all about who's going to give you the best offer.
I don't. If it's a guy like Freddie or a guy like Willie, I don't think anybody was mad that Willie Adames went to the Giants. You don't want Willie to beat you like in an important playoff series or anything like that. I get that, but I mean, you still can root for the person even though they're wearing a different shirt.
Yeah, except Craig Counsell, not him. But
it's almost like you root for him. You just don't want him to have a terrible outcome. Like, hey, I love Freddie Peralta. I don't want him to go to, a place where his life is going to be hell.
Sure.
Talk about life in hell, Iowa. I just got an update from Nick Osen saying that he's very impressed by you, Doug Russell. He is passing Casey right now. Casey,
let's go.
I was looking at a map, mind you. I mean, it's not like.
I mean, he just said he was west of Des Moines. You could have picked any town, northwest, southwest.
And I also just wanted to make sure that he had. I don't want anybody driving on an empty stomach, and it's about noontime, so it's about when we talk to him getting on lunch. So you got to go stop and get something to eat. So there's a nice couple of steakhouses along the way along I-90.
Yeah, there you go. And you got to find those steakhouses. I'm sure that's where a lot of these execs were at the winter meetings as well. Going out and get a nice dinner before they end up. They wrapped up yesterday with the Rule 5 draft. The Brewers got raided in the Rule 5 draft. I don't know if you guys saw. They lost like 6 players.
Okay. Anybody important?
In the minor league phase. My favorite guy, Hedbert Perez. I was driving the Hedbert hype train for 3 years. He was like a top 3 prospect in this system a couple of years ago. He was supposed to be like the next big thing, and he dealt with some injuries and kind of tailed off there. He now goes to Toronto. Nate Peterson was a guy I kind of liked who could be a reliever. But yeah, they ended up picking up a guy though, Cole Phillips. He was drafted in 2022, 6 spots ahead of Mizorowski. So it's like, okay, early pick, really, really talented. Has not thrown a pitch in his professional career. Since getting drafted, has not thrown a pitch in an actual game. Okay. And the Brewers picked him. He's had back-to-back Tommy John surgeries, but the Brewers are like, we'll take a flyer on him, see what he can do.
That's a flyer.
It's definitely a flyer. So, maybe now that hopefully he's healthy heading into next season, he can be something. But yeah, it's tough. But yeah, they just it was like one after another, just people just taking guys from the Brewers. It was wild.
Okay.
But including some guy they just picked up 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's what happens sometimes.
Hansel Rincon, some guy in the DSL.
His name is Hansel?
Hansel. Like Hansel and Gretel. Yeah, Hansel. He was
Where's
on there.
He from?
Like the Dominican or something.
Sounds like he's from Germany or Denmark or something.
With Rincon as his last name?
No, Hansel.
Yeah, Hansel. Yeah. I don't know. But they literally just signed him 2 weeks ago. He was on their DSL roster, and the Yankees just plucked him, and everyone's like, who? Who is that? Even I didn't know who it was.
Well,
and if I don't know who it is, it's like you clearly are not anyone worth knowing.
Because the Rule 5 draft is for true baseball degenerates.
Yes.
He's from Los Llanos.
Yes.
Dominican Republic.
Yep. Okay. See what I tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sure going by his first
know
name.
what they're doing.
I'm sure
in
there's a
that region.
steakhouse near there too.
The second the Brewers stake their claim to an individual from that region, better chance than not that he's going to be something. So if you can pick him away instantly, do it.
Yeah. The Yankees are just kind of like, hey, the Brewers just signed this pitcher. He must be good. They must see something. We're going to take him. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Let's see. Shedeur Sanders won the NFL Rookie of the Week award for his 364-yard performance.
Is it possible?
Ding-dongs are going crazy.
Is it possible that Shedeur Sanders is going to actually be a pretty good NFL quarterback?
He is the first rookie quarterback this year to throw for 300-plus yards.
Okay.
I think that
Mel Kiper was right. Justice for Kiper.
They played the worst team in the NFL, or one of them. Poor weather, good plays, nothing to take anything away from Shedeur. You need to see more, right?
Yeah.
Sure, of course.
He's played well. He's played better than Dylan Gabriel, so we'll give him this.
Well, that was
he
a wasted
should have been
pick.
playing
He should have
when
been picked.
Gabriel was playing.
He should have been picked before Dylan Gabriel, too, because I remember doing the draft show. Wayne Larrabee and I looked at each other like, and we kind of mouthed it because we were on the air. I was like, what the bleep are the Browns doing?
Yeah,
Well,
it's like they were trying to send a message to
That's
Sanders.
Like Dylan Gabriel? And then
they got
2
him
rounds.
anyway.
And then what? Right. And then two rounds later, they picked up Shedeur anyway.
Traded up for him.
It was like, what on earth are they doing in Cleveland?
Well, it is Cleveland.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't worry. Their chief strategy officer has left and is now running the Colorado Rockies.
That's right.
So,
Paul DePodesta.
Yeah.
What a unique circumstance Shedeur is in, and I think that he's a good enough player that he'll stick around in the league. But I do need to see more outside of just
That's
one
fair.
performance.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, but that's why it's the Rookie of the Week award. I'm sure
no
no
doubt.
see so much.
It's been a
in
couple.
week.
And to be fair, he's had a couple of good games.
Yeah.
He's played well enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To be on
maybe
an
Mel
NFL
Kiper
roster.
wasn't the crackpot that we all thought that he was when he was going off the rails there. Also, Shedeur, speaking of crackpots, Sharon Moore, he is still in jail and he will appear in court for his arraignment tomorrow.
Who's going to be the next Michigan coach?
Lane Kiffin. I don't know. I actually just I saw this from Football Scoops John Bryce, who put this out there. Yeah, I don't know. Football Scoops seems like a somewhat legit-ish.
He's got the
spot.
scoop, man.
Yeah, he lists off some candidates, and one of them is Green Bay Packers offensive coordinator Adam Stenavich, a Michigan man.
Interesting.
You know, he has experience at Michigan grad, Packers OC since 2022. Maybe he could be a candidate for that job. He's reportedly a name worth or a name to watch as a potential
who was
replacement.
talking about? I forgot who it was, but somebody prominent was talking about how Jeff Hafley would be a perfect choice for the Giants. Because I mean, we've talked about it a little bit ever since Brian Dable got fired, but he's a New Jersey native, grew up watching the Giants, grew up going to the Meadowlands. So there's that. I still think that Jeff Hafley's destined to be not only a head coach in the NFL, but a pretty darn good one too.
Yeah, and this Football Scoop has like 167,000 followers on Twitter. So it seems like a somewhat legit spot.
Interesting. You don't even think Stenavich is a big part of what the Packers are doing. I mean,
he doesn't call the plays.
Right.
I mean, LaFleur calls the plays.
He's just one of those guys. He's just around hanging out, like Eric Bieniemy was when he was with the Chiefs. Bieniemy was every year supposed to get a job. Why isn't he getting the job? He's the OC of the Chiefs. And it's like, Andy's calling the plays.
Andy was calling the plays. And what is Eric Bieniemy doing right now anyway? Because
I think he's selling cars somewhere. Honestly, I don't even know if he has a job. Unfortunately.
That's why Matt LaFleur had to get away from Sean McVay.
Yeah, it looks like maybe he is the running backs coach for the Bears.
Well, he's not doing a hell of a job. I take back everything I said. The running back situation in Chicago is great this year. Credit to him.
He's still not calling plays. And if you're going to hire an offensive, air quotes, guru to be your head coach, you want somebody who has that experience calling plays. Not that the head coach necessarily has to call the plays, but you want someone who has at least been there. Now, Adam Stenavich calls the plays in the preseason. Matt LaFleur cedes that to him, but LaFleur had to get away from Sean McVay, who obviously calls his own plays in LA the 2 years that he spent with the Rams. That's why he spent 1 year with the Tennessee Titans. And that's where the Packers plucked him from there, because at the time, if you had a cup of coffee with Sean McVay, you're being plucked as a head coach in the NFL. And LaFleur has done pretty well as Packers head coach.
Yeah.
Connor Orr of Sports Illustrated is the one reporting that Hafley's a heavy favorite for the Giants job.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. I mean, these coaching searches, a lot of things can end up happening. But yeah, Stenavich, according to a Football Scoop here, apparently sources say that Stenavich has steadily maintained being prepared for an opportunity to coach at his alma mater, which, I mean, that could mean a lot of things. Steadily maintained being prepared. That could mean anything.
Yeah, that could mean anything.
Yeah. So it's like that's what your sources tell. Okay, but he's gotten widespread praise for his work and the ongoing development of quarterback Jordan Love. So yeah, it's a possibility. Also listed here, Jed Fish from Washington.
Sure.
Maybe the Michigan OC Chip Lindsey. Then just kind of go down the list here. Kalen DeBoer, which I think is going to be a pipe dream, at least for now. Clark Lee, also, he got his new deal. Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter. Looks like he was the defensive coordinator for Michigan back when they won the national championship. So
okay. Well, one thing about Michigan, they love their Michigan men.
They do love their Michigan men.
No mention of John Harbaugh?
No mention of John Harbaugh. I don't. To list Brian Kelly in here, who says he's got one more coaching run in him.
Okay.
They do list someone from the Ravens coaching staff, Todd Monken.
So I hope it's Brian Kelly, because then he can go and say, "I'm here with my family, don't you know?"
Great. It's like, well, a family man too for a little bit.
Well, he keeps making kids, just not with his wife.
Well, we got a family waiting to pop in with you guys in the studio. I see them peeking behind you, Doug.
That's true. You do. It is the Wishful Giving Radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Unwrap the power of a wish. Donate right now at radiowishes.com, or you can call 877-272-WISH. Shelby Woods is coming in. She wanted to meet a universe ago. She's almost 15 now. So she'll tell her story coming up. Her mom is in with us as well, and her mom's name is Sarah. We will talk to the Woods family when we return as we continue on our Wishful Giving Radio event, again, presented by Kessler's Diamonds right here on the Game Radio Network.
Honey, why you crying? Is everything okay? I gotta whisper 'cause I can't be too loud. Oh well, my girl's in the next room.
Donate right now to Make-A-Wish during our Wishful Giving Radio event, presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Go to radiowishes.com or call 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Stay tuned.
Yes.
D.N.D. will be back in just a moment.
Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1976.
Bob Dylan releases his album Desire. It goes to #1 in the States, thanks mainly to significant radio airplay for the single Hurricane.
Couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game.
Scottish sensations, the Bay City Rollers, finally score a hit in the U.S. with the #1 single Saturday Night. In February, former Steve Miller Band member Boz Scaggs has a #2 U.S. album with Silk Degrees. Peter Frampton hits #1 with his double live album Frampton Comes Alive. It would become the best-selling album of 1976.
I want to show me the way every day. I want to show me the way night and day.
In March, Irish hard rockers Thin Lizzy's 6th album Jailbreak scores them a #12 hit single with The Boys Are Back in Town.
The boys are back in town again. Been hanging down at Dino's.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1976 coming up.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Steve Miller Band songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Take the Money and Run.
Bobby Sue took the money and run. Go on, take the money and run. Go on, take the money and run.
Number 2, Rockin' Me.
I know that it's true that all the things that I do will come back to me in my sweet time. So keep on rocking me, baby. Keep on rocking me, baby.
Number 1, The Joker.
I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I give my loving on the run.
Hear more from the Steve Miller Band and similar artists now. Search for Steve Miller Band on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio.
Here are the top Stevie Wonder songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Part-Time Lover.
Mom said the way should be. Pass me by, don't even speak. Know the word is sweet. When part-time lovers.
Number 2, Isn't She Lovely?
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than 1 minute.
Number 1, Superstition.
Very superstitious. Let us start to fall. 13-month-old baby broke the looking glass.
Hear more from Stevie Wonder and similar artists now. Search for Stevie Wonder on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
Classic Cuts.
Coming off the success of his Night Moves album, Bob Seger found himself spending time in Hollywood, the home of his record label, Capitol. In fact, not only was some of his next album, Stranger in Town, recorded and mixed there, the city itself inspired the song which gave the album its title.
I was sitting in a rented house in Hollywood, up on a hill above Sunset Strip in the Hollywood Hills, and I could see the whole city. And I went out and I took a drive, not listening to the radio, but just this thing started to come in my head. Hollywood nights, Hollywood Hills, above all the lights, Hollywood nights. It just kept coming into my mind. And I thought I wrote it from the perspective of an outsider, which I was. And that's hence the title Stranger in Town.
She was looking so right. Baby, I'm playing on you tonight. Hunt you down, eat you alive. Just like animals, animals like animals most. Maybe you think that you can hide. I can smell yourself for miles. Just like animals, animals like animals most. Baby, I'm
Welcome back in. It is D.N.D. Doug Russell, Nick Bruzewitz, and Dave Gasper here on the Game Radio Network. It is our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds, and we are so honored to have in studio right now Shelby Woods and her mom, Sarah. Hi, Shelby. How are you?
I'm good.
And we played the song for you because we asked you what your favorite song was, and we couldn't find the first one, but you also said Maroon 5, Animals. What was the first song that you were looking for? What was the name of that? FNUF or?
It's me. It's a song that's based on FNAF.
Okay. All right. 18, and mom can speak to this as well. You were contacting the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and you had one of the more unique requests. Tell us about the request that you had back in 2018, because I've got the pictures that were taken a few years ago, and this looks like something that is unique probably unto you, and it looks like you had a lot of fun.
I did really have a lot of fun. Yeah. So my wish was to meet a real life unicorn.
We're showing the picture on our live stream right now as well.
Who else did you want to meet?
I also met the Queen of Scots.
The Queen of Scots.
Mary, Queen of Scots.
Mary, Queen of Scots.
Okay. How'd you find her? That's the power of Make-A-Wish. That's the power of Make-A-Wish as well. So I'm showing this picture as well of you on the unicorn on our stream. Tell us how that all came about, and what the day meant to you.
It was the most fun time of my life.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
And I really enjoyed it.
It's great. Mom, what is the Make-A-Wish meant to you, your family, to Shelby, and going through the process of meeting a real life unicorn?
Right. When I was looking at the pictures and the videos to pick some to print off.
Mhm.
I mean, it was just that wave of emotions all over again. Seeing her and all of the pain, all of the exhaustion that she was having on an every single day basis just completely melted away. And she was like the absolute nothing but happy on her face. It was very powerful. There was not a dry eye in the house.
Or today.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I mean, there was not a single person in that building that didn't feel what she was feeling when that unicorn came out of those double doors. I don't know that she realized that that's why she was there. So like, I think there's a picture of her, like just the shock on her face, and she's sitting next to Mary, Queen of Scots. It was powerful to say the very least. I can't even hear the song that was playing without getting emotional again. It was amazing.
How did you get so interested in wanting to meet a unicorn?
Well, there was this show. What was it called again?
I do not recall.
Well, like it was like some kind of game show that we were watching on the TV, and a question came up, and they said like, "What is the national animal of Scotland?" And somebody said a unicorn, and it was correct. And
it checks out. Look it up.
Okay.
And also back then, I was really into unicorns, and I still am.
Very nice.
And they're very magical creatures, and they're very hard to come across. So it's not very often that you're going to see one face to face.
Forrest is in the room as well. I mean, how'd you find the unicorn?
You know, Make-A-Wish has a lot of connections and has a lot of magic in its back pocket.
I wonder if you guys do you guys have a?
There's a unicorn in your office, right, Forrest?
Is there?
Sometimes appears. Depending on the
maybe
day.
you guys have a room somewhere here that just has portals everywhere that opens up to different dimensions.
Listen, there are rooms in this building that I haven't even dared walk through, so I don't rule that out at all.
Who knows? Maybe there's a portal maybe a portal in one of those rooms. Maybe that's where the unicorn came from.
It's possible. It's definitely possible. And also Mary, Queen of Scots. How did you get interested in Mary, Queen of Scots?
It was it was Jeopardy that she watched on YouTube about the national animal of Scotland. And then from there, she just started Googling national animal of Scotland and found Mary, Queen of Scots, who is the last reigning queen of Scotland. So you do the math.
Okay. You're right.
Math.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone that knows anything about history, that was definitely magical. And yeah, I mean, she was fascinated by all things Scotland and unicorns and queens and kings and princesses.
And you got a birthday coming up, I understand.
Yes.
15. That's a big
one.
It's a big year. Has she said what she wants for? Have you told your mom what you want for your birthday yet?
What do you want for your birthday?
Do you want a cat?
I didn't say that because she would say no.
No.
It's a good thing we don't have a Make-A-Wish right now.
Because we know what it was. I showed you a picture of my cat, Sophie.
Right. We're very much in our I love cats era. Very
Okay.
much so.
Why did Shelby qualify for a wish? What brought this on?
So Shelby was I should have brought more pictures. She was the happiest baby. Oh, absolute happiest baby. And then when she was about 2 years old, she started telling us that her toes hurt. She was very vocal. She's a talker, if you couldn't tell. So she kept telling us that her toes hurt, and we're like, okay, maybe she got the wrong size shoes. Maybe it's the socks. We tried absolutely everything. We were actually at a routine doctor's appointment when they were like, let's get an MRI. And we found out that she had Chiari malformation, and it was in dire need of being fixed. So we went from diagnosis to emergency brain surgery in a matter of 3 months. It was very quick. We had very little time to digest and go from there. Like, what happens next? What happens after this? And so she had brain surgery, and her neurosurgeon said that she was the smallest child that he had ever done that surgery on. She was tiny. And there is just something that her dad and I will never forget when you hand your child over and they've made it very clear that that might be the last time that you see your child. I don't know that you'll ever forget that feeling. Since then, thankfully, we came through with flying colors. But her medical situation has been a roller coaster. There are a lot of umbrella diagnoses that come from Chiari malformation. So Shelby's autonomic nervous system, because of the brain damage, does not function properly. So all of those things that your body does without you telling it to, make your heart beat, your blood pressure, your respirations, even simple things like digestion, her body just does not do well on its own. So I like to joke and say that we're frequent flyers at Children's and that I need my own parking spot. But it's very much true. Like, we are there 5, sometimes 7, 8 times a month.
Sure.
And lots of hospitalizations. And, she still to this day talks about that wish, and her face just completely lights up. Our last hospitalization, someone had brought up, I think Make-A-Wish was in the building, and got her talking about it. And I mean, we had already been there for 6 days. So we were all a little exhausted. But when she talks about that wish, it's like everything just melts away. Everything goes away. And it's nothing but joy on her face. And of course, she's spreading that to other people too.
That's certainly one of the threads that, we hear about kids that get their wishes granted from Make-A-Wish, is that getting away is as important as the hospital is, and is incredible the work that Children's Hospital does. Getting away
absolutely
from that can be healing for the soul. And sometimes that's as important as anything else.
And there's also a lot of other illnesses that I have, like dysautonomia, which is why I have trouble regulating my body temperature.
Yeah, there are a lot of like other trickle down things that have come from it. So the experience that we had with Make-A-Wish is like that little glimmer of nothing but happy in all of the things that we go through.
Absolutely. And of course, this is our Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. You can call 1-877-272-WISH or go to radiowishes.com and make a donation, and you can help kids like Shelby. Shelby, thank you so much for coming in. Sarah, thank you so much for coming in today. All right.
We're always happy to be here.
We're always happy to have you. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it so much. We'll be right back here on D.N.D. on the Game.
Animals like animals most. Maybe you think that you can hide. I can smell yourself from miles. Just like animals. Animals like animals most.
This is the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Want to watch D.N.D? They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
There you go.
There we go.
Just search 97.3 The Game.
Here are the top Queen songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, We Are the Champions. Number 2, We Will Rock You.
You got mud on your face, big disgrace. Somebody better put your bag into your place. We will rock you. Sing it. We will rock you.
Number 1, Another One Bites the Dust.
Another one bites the dust, and another one gone, and another one gone, another one bites the dust. Hey, gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust.
Hear more from Queen and similar artists now. Search for Queen on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1968.
California's Creedence Clearwater Revival released their debut LP, which contains the number 11 single, Susie Q. And in August, American band Tommy James and the Shondells have a number 1 hit in the UK with Moni Moni. It goes to number 8 in the US. And the Doors have their first number 1 album and their second and last number 1 single with Hello, I Love You.
When she moves, my brain screams out this song.
In November of 68, Van Morrison releases his second solo album, Astral Weeks, and Joe Cocker has a UK number 1 with his cover of the Beatles with a little help from my friends. And in December, Motown holds the top spot with number 1 hits from Marvin Gaye, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and the Supremes with Love Child. The Beatles released their first single on their own Apple label, Hey Jude, back with Revolution. The over 7-minute song went to number 1 in the US and the UK.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1968, coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1974.
Oh, the band on the run. Band on the run.
In January of 1974, the top-selling album of the year is released, Paul McCartney and Wings' Band on the Run. Bob Dylan, backed by the band, has his first number 1 album with Planet Waves. In February, Jersey City's Kool and the Gang have a top 5 hit with Jungle Boogie. New York City's Kiss released their debut, which sells 75,000 copies without a hit single. In March of 74, Canadian band Rush released their debut album, Get a New Drummer, and go on their first U.S. tour. David Essex has the first of many top 10 hits in the UK and his only U.S. hit with the single Rock On, which goes to number 5. And Steely Dan hit the top 5 with the single Ricky Don't Lose That Number and have a top 10 album too with Pretzel Logic.
Ricky, don't lose that number. It's the only one you own. You might use it if you feel better when you get home.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1974, coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Bryan Adams to talk about what he creatively enjoys the most.
Still, to this day, is the most exciting thing about what I do, which is writing songs. I like to write songs, and it's the only thing really about all of this that I really love. You know, all that sitting around chit-chatting and going on tour, and that's all right, you know, but for me, making music is the one thing that really sparks, you know, and really you do get off on, you know. I mean, yeah, there's nights, there's gigs where you can play and you know, you come off stage and you think that's, well, I don't have to play. I've just played the best gig I ever played. I can die now. And that's happened to me, but it would be nothing without the song.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Bryan Adams and all your favorite artists.
Drop it. Thank you. Welcome back in. It's D.N.D. Doug Russell, Nick Briswitz, Dave Gasper, who is back in the saddle again after spending the last 3 days in Orlando at the baseball winter meetings. We are hoping to catch up with RotoWire's Joe Bartle here in just a couple minutes to give us some fantasy football help. But, Dave, you got some news that the Brewers are actually making.
This is breaking news. Big news. From Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
We have breaking news from Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic. Outfielder Akil Baddoo is in agreement with the Brewers on a major league contract. So the former Detroit Tiger is joining the Brewers. He's got a career .224 batting average with 28 home runs, 88 OPS plus. So he really kind of burst onto the scene in 2021 as a Rule 5 pick for the Tigers. Had a 2.1 WAR season, so really good year that first year, and then dropped off very quickly after that. Has struggled the past couple of seasons and has been largely up and down between the majors and minors. Last year, played in 7 games and had an OPS plus of -4. So we'll see how his roster status looks, but he's going to be some outfield depth for the Brewers.
All right, very good. We will be on top of that. Also, we are on top of your fantasy football questions as well. The NicoletLaw.com talk and text line is open to you at 877-794-1973. The playoffs have begun in most of our leagues as we welcome in from RotoWire Joe Bartle here on D&D, Doug, Nick, and Dave on the Game Radio Network. Joe, appreciate the time. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I think I'm excited for some Week 15 football, and hopefully everyone has made it to the playoffs as a listener and been contributing to the show here.
Definitely. So this week, I am playing Dave in the first round of the playoffs. My first question to you is, how do I beat him?
By being better and smarter. That's all.
Well, I wasn't better or smarter last week. Every little thing that I did went wrong. So
just give him the bad advice, Joe. That's all we kind of need. Just maybe hold some back a little bit when Doug's asking the questions over there.
Listen, I feel like Lamar at least was back, and so I benched Lamar. I benched Justin Herbert because I didn't know how good of a game that he would have if he would even be able to play, and I picked up C.J. Stroud. Wasn't a terrible choice, but everything else except for my kicker Brandon Aubrey let me down last week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impartial to giving bad advice just across the board. I'm pretty good at doing that overall. So I don't know if it's like I'll be targeting the bad advice or not. I can do it across the board.
We'll start here, Joe. Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts this week. This is our first one on the talking text line. It's a company mail, but we'll roll with it. Hurts or Purdy?
Great question, because Purdy actually really has a good matchup, and this is exactly one of those do you play your stars or scrubs type of deal. The Scrubs have a good matchup. Like I understand a lot of people are dealing with this too. This is how Joe Bartle answers it. It does not have to mean it's to everyone else. Joe Bartle would get angry if the star player that I drafted very highly that's been producing outside of a few games really well is overthought and then ends up getting 25 on my bench when in reality the guy that we, in this case Brock Purdy, only does is like 20 points or whatever. Like that, I would get upset if I made that choice. So I would have to play Jalen Hurts. All I'll say is it's pretty close in my mind. And I think Brock Purdy is going to have a very safe floor against the Titans. The Titans' run defense is really good. Their pass defense has been just atrociously bad basically all season. It's if the Titans' offense actually poses a threat to make the Niners have to score points. That's the only concern I have. So I would play Jalen Hurts, but that's a me thing, not a guaranteeing it for everyone else type of deal.
All right, I'm back to a similar quarterback question here, Joe. Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold? Mayfield playing tonight against Atlanta, who's eliminated and not very good. Darnold playing Indianapolis. It's something where I'm kind of going back and forth, but should I go back with Baker?
I would stick with Sam Darnold. I think the Colts defense is better against the run than it is the pass, and that you could probably have, I would say, some assumption of passing game. My only concern, the Seahawks did this against the Vikings a couple weeks ago. They said, wow, this quarterback play is going to be atrociously bad. We don't have to do anything offensively, and we'll just win this football game. They absolutely destroyed the Vikings. It's the same sort of process for the Colts. So on paper, if the Colts offense presented any sort of concern, you would have the Seahawks defense the Seahawks offense score plenty of points. It'll be a high-scoring game for Seattle. That could still happen, but I wonder if that's just a little bit in there, or if even the Seahawks defense, they score touchdowns, if that puts an issue. This is, again, I guess, a Joe Bartle answer to this. When it's pretty close, I don't want my playoffs decided by Thursday, right? So, like, we're watching this game, hoping that Baker Mayfield looks good. Theoretically, they're supposed to, because the Falcons have been bad for the past month and a half. Oh, well, they decide the primetime one, division game, and Baker only gets 16 or whatever it is. Like, that's fine, but you want your Thursday guys to have 25, whatever the equivalent is for the position. So if all things are equal, I like to not have my playoffs decide on Thursday. So I would play Sam Darnold. I think both have pretty similar floors.
He is Joe Bartle from RotoWire, giving us some fantasy football help here on D.N.D. on the Game Radio Network. Tight end has been my bugaboo all season long. I've got Kyle Pitts and Mark Andrews. Don't like either one of them. Brenton Strange is a free agent. Darren Waller is a free agent. Do either of those players, in your mind, are either one of them a step above either Pitts or Andrews? And if not, who should I start?
I don't mind Brenton Strange, like if people are in that sort of spot where they're considering him, but I actually do think between Kyle Pitts and Mark Andrews, you're going to get a tight end one out of one of them. I know whatever one I select personally would be the opposite of that, but hopefully if I'm just giving advice, it'll be a little bit different. Theoretically, this is supposed to be a good matchup. That Mark Andrews, it was Isaiah Likely 2 weeks ago that ended up being pretty good, but it's a good spot for tight ends, and I think the Ravens need to use that offense for it. I would go with Kyle Pitts because I want a floor. And this is a little bit different than having my fantasy playoffs decided on Thursday, because I think Kyle Pitts gives you very safe, here's 13, especially with Drake London out. I don't think there's a ceiling. I don't think he scores touchdowns, whereas Mark Andrews could have explosive games. But I just don't know if that happens with the Ravens offense right now. So I would play Kyle Pitts. I like Kyle Pitts and Mark Andrews over Brenton Strange.
Joe, I got a few different team scenarios that we could quickly go through. First and foremost, Michael Wilson against the Texans. That is a challenging topic because he's incredible when he's their wide receiver one, but Houston has been elite. If Josh Jacobs is out, Emmanuel Wilson, what do you think of him? And then finally, Phillip Rivers and how that impacts that game as a whole.
Yeah, I guess the Texans defense is so good that I am nervous about it. Like, Brissett had been pretty comfortably a low-end quarterback one in a lot of leagues, and might still be available, I guess, in shallower ones. I wouldn't want to go Brissett, but I just think Michael Wilson probably still does enough. I think McBride and Michael Wilson will get enough volume in that game, and if there's junk time production, which I think the Texans are close to double-digit favorites by the end of Sunday at minimum, you're going to see some junk time production. So I think you're still playing Michael Wilson. I am worried about that defense. There's probably guys that play over Michael Wilson, but his volume has been so defined even in tough matchups like last week against the Rams. With the Packers, I know Jacobs didn't practice yesterday, won't practice today. I still think that's just taking it easy on the veteran. I haven't really had any language or definition that he's going to miss that Broncos game. And as a result, I mean, I don't think to worry about Emmanuel Wilson. I guess if Jacobs is out, Emmanuel Wilson's probably like running back 23, 24-ish, like you're very clearly running back 2. And I don't even talk to Marshawn Lloyd. He's just an aberration to me. If he plays great, that's not something I actually care about fantasy-wise. And I guess it's a test of my memory, but the Colts offense as a whole, it's super frustrating because you would love to have Michael Pittman or Josh Downs or Tyler Warren in your starting lineup. And I don't know if it's Phillip Rivers or Riley Leonard. My point just is overall, I don't want any of them at quarterback, and therefore I don't want any of those guys playing for me offensively. The frustrating one the most is Jonathan Taylor, who had been basically a league winner, at least a playoff winner for a lot of people at the very early portion of the season in the midway. Now I think he gets affected by this too, where you're still playing Jonathan Taylor because you have to, but whereas you like to have a counter to the Jahmyr Gibbs or the explosives of running backs, I don't think Jonathan Taylor can do that anymore with Phillip Rivers or Riley Leonard as the quarterback. So that's a frustrating spot if you are relying on any Colts players, but especially a guy like Jonathan Taylor who is helping people win weeks every week.
Joe, I lost last week in part because I had Tony Pollard on my bench when he decides to go off for a career game of like 160 yards with 2 tutties. How repeatable is that performance potentially this week against San Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that you would have been losing a lot more weeks if Tony Pollard had been in your lineup, so that you got wrong this one time as opposed to most of the season. Isn't like you've lost weeks. I think at the end of the day, you've won more than you've lost because Pollard has not been in your lineup. It's been frustrating. I don't know what the Titans did, especially against the good Browns defense. And I actually went back and watched that game and watched the carries that Pollard had. I thought the offensive line play was just fantastic for the Titans, and they have been one of the worst offensive lines all year. I don't know what switch was flipped, and this is the frustrating part when we're doing like a just fantasy analysis or football conversation. We're not in the buildings. We're not there listening to what the players are saying, what the game plan is, or why that's different than any other week. And you're never going to get that information. So to me, I just look at the totality of Pollard's season and what the Titans have been offensively, and I'm like, no, I don't really want to bet on that. Like I would assume I'd rather have the Quinshon Judkins, or Breece Hall, or maybe Pollard of Breece Hall with the Jets playing with what it is. Like I would rather have these more elite tier running backs, but I think there's room to say that Cam Ward is a really, really good quarterback in the near future. And if there is just a little bit of momentum going that way, it's a positive thing for him. But I'm not playing Tony Pollard unless I really don't have any other options.
We only got about 30 seconds left. Joe, George Pickens, how concerned should fantasy owners be about his lack of production last week and kind of seemingly lack of effort last week?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad look, but I'm not concerned whatsoever, especially if Lamb misses this game. I don't know if we know his stats. The concussion, I think Pickens still has to be in your starting lineup given the Cowboys offense, the way that funnels through those two.
Joe, we appreciate the time so much. Good luck to, I guess, me and Dave. I mean, we're playing each other, and it's for the playoffs, and it's for money, and I want to beat him. So, but we appreciate the insights as always, and we'll check back in with you the next week as the playoffs, baby. Playoffs are here.
Let's do it. All right. Good luck, guys. Talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, Joe. There he goes. RotoWire's Joe Bartle. Jordiga's here. I don't know if it's a grudge match, but, I think we certainly want to beat each other.
Oh, absolutely. And the bragging rights are certainly on the line. I mean, when we get to the show on Monday, someone's doing a victory dance.
Well, we'll see, because do we have do you have anybody playing on Monday?
Winner's first name initial becomes the first D in D.N.D. come Monday.
Let's see.
I do not have anyone on Monday, it looks like.
I don't think I do either. Let's see. Quinshon Judkins was on my bench. I had T. Higgins on my bench. I had Lamar. I had Justin Herbert on my bench. I benched probably 75 points last week. Everything could have possibly
benching A.J. Brown and Tony Pollard cost me the win last week against Josh.
Bruiser's Bites is next.
To donate to Make-A-Wish and give families the experience of a lifetime, go to radiowishes.com or call 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. You are listening to D.N.D. with Doug, Nick, and Dave.
This pains me to say this, but Dave's right.
Hey, why does that pain you to say? I'm right quite a bit, I think.
Middays here on the game.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Elton John songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Tiny Dancer.
All the clothes are trying to dance. Count the headlights on the highway. Baby darling, she's so landing.
Number 2, Rocket Man.
I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no. I'm a rocket man, burning out the fuse I've ever known.
Number 1, Benny and the Jets.
She got electric boots, I'm more than food. You know I'm better than a magazine. No, Benny and the Jets.
Hear more from Elton John and similar artists now. Search for Elton John on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1975.
In June of 75, the Bee Gees released the LP Main Course, featuring a more dance-oriented sound, and delivered 3 hit singles, including the number 1 Jive Talkin'. In July, Fleetwood Mac shake things up. They add Americans Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks to the lineup and have a number 1 album. And Wings released the album Venus and Mars, which goes to number 1. Their U.S. tour features Paul McCartney's first live appearance in the U.S. since 1966.
I love this fine for all we know. For all we know, our love will grow. That's what the man said. So won't you listen to what the man said? He said,
In August of 75, the Eagles' fourth album goes to number 1 and has 3 top 5 singles, including the number 1 title track, One of These Nights. And the boss, Bruce Springsteen, is featured on the cover of Time magazine, and Born to Run becomes his breakthrough album, reaching number 3 in the U.S.
Come on with me, chance like us. Baby, we were born to run.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1975. Coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1977.
In June of 77, Ram Jam have a top 20 U.S. hit single with the cover of Lead Belly's song Black Betty. Chicago area rock band Styx have a U.S. top 10 album, Grand Illusion, including the top 10 single Come Sail Away.
Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me.
In July of 77, the Grateful Dead veered towards progressive rock, adding strings, horn, and a choir on their ninth studio album, Terrapin Station.
Terrapin, and the whistle is screaming. Terrapin.
In August of 77, the King dies. Elvis Presley's found dead in his home in Memphis, Tennessee at the age of 42. Detroit rock vocalist Iggy Pop releases his second solo album, Lust for Life. It's his second collaboration with David Bowie. New York's Billy Joel releases his fifth album, The Stranger. It goes to number 2 in the U.S., with the single Just the Way You Are rising to number 3.
I want you just the way you are.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1977. Coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Bryan Adams to discuss the difficulties of putting a record together, particularly the Reckless album.
If you knew what Reckless took to make, you wouldn't think that, it just sounds like we went in an afternoon and recorded a record, because I told over that record for 6 months, I mean, it was one of the hardest things I ever did. I was completely wiped out afterwards, because I fought every step of the way with everybody about it. And even though I had a good team, there was a lot of struggles.
Mm-hmm.
But I come to terms with the fact that if you want something bad enough, you got to fight for it. And so that's what I do now. I just I put together a good entourage of guys and go in there and just get in the scrum, man.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Bryan Adams and all your favorite artists.
Listen to us live 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app and watch our shows each weekday on YouTube, Facebook, and X. We are the game.
It's like we're back at Camp Randall.
Oh, yeah.
Even though Nick doesn't remember them playing Buttercup at all. That's okay.
Well, we had a listener say the game that Dave was at, they didn't do it. So I don't know who's telling the truth.
Well, Dave remembers it. Maybe the other person maybe just doesn't recall it like you don't recall it.
Yeah. Doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Doesn't mean it didn't happen. And I'm not brandishing anybody a liar. I'm just saying you might not remember it.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I remember doing it as a student. Maybe you just don't hear it in the press box. Honest. It might be possible you just don't hear it.
I mean, I hear it in the press box.
Well, maybe you have better hearing than me.
That's because his frontal lobe is fully developed.
I think that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
And it's been developed for a while.
Yeah.
This is
hopefully
our wishful thinking. Well, by this age, I would hope. This is the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Unwrap the power of a wish. Donate right now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272. Let me get that number right again. I'll say it slowly this time. 877-272-WISH. You can become a Wish Club member for $20 a month or by donating $240 or more. When you become a Wish Club member, you'll receive a royal blue quartz and gold-filled beaded stretch bracelet with a wish charm. It's a $75 value, courtesy of Kessler's Diamonds. You can also become a Kessler's Diamond Club member by donating $1,000 or more, and you'll receive a bracelet plus a $500 Kessler's Splurge card, which will be mailed to you after the event. Also, our silver sponsors, Habish and Rotier, and also more sponsors, Carmex and Design Air. And throughout the event, every donation will be matched by the Dina Hatch Foundation of up to $10,000. We'll have another wish story coming up a little bit later on in this hour. But before we go any further, it's time now to turn the proceedings over to the birthday boy himself, Nick Bruzewitz, for another edition of Bruiser's Bites.
Time now for Bruiser's Bites.
It's time for Bruiser's Bites, and it's a jam-packed day, so I'll make this quick. Visit Wisconsin Concrete Coatings, wiconcretecoatings.com, to see all the great work they can do for you, your garage floor, your garage cabinetry, your outdoor deck patio, your basement floor. If it's concrete, they can coat it with their polyurea coating, which is way better than your traditional epoxy. Slip-resistant when wet, skid-resistant. This is the time of year you're going to wish you would have done it. So get ahead of schedule and contact them and probably line them up to come around the spring and get you geared up with their Wisconsin Concrete Coatings. Their coating, wiconcretecoatings.com. We'll start here. Matt LaFleur at the podium about the stretch that the Packers are going on in their schedule. Here's what he had to say about the road ahead.
What a great challenge, what a great challenge. But also I think there's there's great opportunity that goes with that. So it is what it is. We knew going into this year, just looking at it, and there's always going to be surprises each and every year. But I would say just our division alone, you knew it was going to be a grind.
Examining what's left for Green Bay, which game sticks out to you guys as potentially the most challenging?
Probably the last one, because I think it's a trap game against the Vikings. I think they could struggle against any of the other teams, because the other teams that they're playing, I mean, even Baltimore, they're still playing for something at this point. The only thing that the Vikings are playing for is pride, and the only thing that they're playing for is to ruin whatever is in front of the Packers. That concerns me from an intangible standpoint. Not that I don't think the Packers are a better team. Sometimes we have seen them play down to the level of their opponents. Even, in Cleveland. Carolina's turned out to be an okay team this year, so I can't, complain too badly about that loss. But their defense didn't show up against Dallas for whatever reason. So the one that concerns me the most is probably that last one, because I think that there could be something to play for both teams in Green Bay and Minnesota, but Minnesota's is far more sinister than what Green Bay would be playing for.
Yeah, I'm going to say the one that's most concerning for me is the Bears game coming up next week, just because you're out there on the road in Chicago, different environment than being at Lambeau. And it was a close game at Lambeau. I mean, it came down to Keyshawn Nixon at the end to prevent the game-tying score there for the Bears. So that one is going to be tough, because the Bears have been, much better this year. And that's one where if the Bears win it, it completely flips the balance of power in this division. But if the Packers are able to win it and they sweep the Bears, then they basically are assuring themselves, even heading into that Vikings game, that they're going to be in control in that division.
Well, in control of the AFC West, the 11-win Broncos are pacing their conference, but they're still home underdogs. Packers come to town, and they're the favorites. This is what Bo Nix had to say about being a home underdog.
I don't really care. My mom thinks we'll win, so that's all that matters.
That's a great answer. I love that.
I ask you guys, how do we ensure that mom is disappointed come Sunday night?
Well, I think the Packers just have to play their game, and when they've run into trouble, it's when they haven't. You need to establish the run, and that'll set up the pass. It's one of the old axioms of football. Right now, you've got Josh Jacobs, who's running the ball really, really well behind, to be honest with you, kind of a makeshift offensive line who are kind of starting to gel a little bit, believe it or not. I don't know that I would have had that on my bingo card, considering all of the injuries that they've had to the offensive line. And for that matter, that also includes at the tight end spot with Tucker Kraft, but you lose Elton Jenkins. You have to shuffle guys in and out, and Jacobs has been effective. The numbers don't pop off the stat sheet at you, but go back and, ask Matt LaFleur how impactful Josh Jacobs was to his offense against the Bears, for example. I know that Jordan Love loves to spread the ball around. I still think that Christian Watson needs more touches. And right now, I can't worry about Matthew Golden getting involved in the Packers offense, because there's something bigger to play for in 2025. The defense has to just get after Bo Nix as well as they can. But that offensive line, they've really got to do their job against a really stout front seven that love to get after the passer in Denver. Vance Joseph is one of the elite defensive coordinators in the NFL, and he's got elite players. Patrick Surtain's one of the elite players, reigning Defensive Player of the Year. So it's going to be a tall task for the Packers to offensively get their game plan going. I think they're up to the task. I don't know that if I'm the Vegas odds makers that I would have made the same selection that they did, but I guess that's why they play the games, right?
Yeah, and I think the best way to make Mama Nix disappointed is to get some turnovers there on Bo Nix as well. He's got 9 interceptions on the season. On the year, the Broncos turnover ratio is -3. So being able to win that turnover battle and force an interception or two and do that, make it difficult on him, I think that's going to be really a big key to them as well, being able to get a win on Sunday.
Well, for whatever reason, although they're not winning as many Sundays as anticipated and have lost twice to the Packers this season, Stick of Woodward Sports Network, radio host. He's been all over the internet. People were asking where he was when they beat him on Thanksgiving. Opportunity for him to kind of get his take on the Lions and Packers. Here's what he had to say.
2 losses to the Packers. I love how this storyline is working out with the Packers. They can get their little victory in the regular season, but come playoff time, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a row. And you know who's going to be there in their way to get to that Super Bowl? It's going to be your Honolulu Blue Detroit Lions, and it's set up perfectly to rip the hearts and souls out of the entire Green Bay, Wisconsin, everybody cooking meth in their trailer facility. This is almost like the Avalanche storyline, D-Mac. Like they were the villain. They beat you in the regular season, and you got your vengeance in the playoffs. I see it happening with the Lions and the Packers this year. I love that they got their 2 wins in the regular season. We'll get our win when it counts.
All right, so a lot to unpack there.
Okay, big fella.
All right.
Some fighting words from a guy who calls himself Stick, like the object.
Mhm.
I
mean, it's cute that he thinks that, but
yeah,
I wanted to get you guys' take to say, ultimately, if there were a third matchup, would you want it, i.e., Cubs? Brewers had their beast in front of them, and they vanquished them.
Sure.
So you got to kind of have your cake and eat it, too. Would you want the Lions a third time? I think it's completely fair to say no, because I think they're a good team.
Yeah, the Lions are a good team, but champions fear no one. So,
Yeah.
I mean, do I want the Lions? Not necessarily, but I wouldn't shy away from them if that's what the football gods have in mind. Sure, I suppose. Detroit, they've had their ups and downs. I will say that if the Packers do wind up playing the Lions and it's a close game, I like the Packers' chances because Dan Campbell usually pisses down his leg in instances like that when it comes to making critical decisions at critical times. So I do enjoy that aspect of it. So, yeah, I mean, if we want to see Dan Campbell make another dumb decision like he's been apt to do in the playoffs, that's great. But as far as Stick is concerned, get back to me when you've won something in this century.
Yeah, I literally haven't even thought about the Lions at all since the Packers swept them. It's just they're just kind of there, but they're back in third place in the division. So yeah, I'm not really sweating it that much. Like, do I want them? Like, I mean, I'm not necessarily like wanting any specific opponent for the playoffs. It's just like, hey, let's see what the path is. But as Doug mentioned, I mean, their history in the playoffs, they literally have 2 playoff wins since 1991. Yeah. I mean, like we're going back. Like I pulled up their playoff history. It is a lot of one and dones. L.
This Stick guy's talking a big game for a team that hasn't accomplished.
Win.
squad.
Also, what the hell is this part?
Perfectly to rip the hearts and souls out of the entire Green Bay, Wisconsin, everybody cooking meth in their trailer facility. This is
what's that about?
Everybody cooking meth in the trailer facility.
This isn't Albuquerque. This isn't Walter
Detroit.
White.
Look around Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, Detroit's
like,
had a glow
is
up in the
Detroit
last
really
years.
one to talk about meth?
Focus on fixing Flint's water, please.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Tell me about meth in Wisconsin. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
because Detroit has no
What do you
problems.
name? You name Stick after he's sticking himself with name your drug, huh? That's right.
Wow.
Jeez. Okay. I guess we got under Nick's skin.
The whole meth thing. I mean,
So do the Needles, actually.
it's-
But
yeah, listen.
hey,
Yeah.
Fix to your point, fix the water in Flint. Detroit,
That's
by the
right.
way, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to actually say something nice about Detroit, Michigan, because I've been there a few times and it's gotten better every single time that I've been there. It's actually had a little bit of a renaissance. It's not the dump that it was, say, 25 years ago. I'll give it some credit. They've built up the downtown area, the new basketball hockey arena. That's helped. They've got a nice little district down there. So it's a city that's on the rise, but come on, man.
What's that about?
Get back to me, Stick. When your team has won anything, and then we'll talk. If your team, what did you say, Dave? 2 playoff games since 1991?
yes, and they were both in 2023.
Okay. Get back to me when your team does something, and I mean anything, in the month of January.
Yeah, no doubt. What a fool. I do not like
Take
that
that,
guy.
Stick.
We'll
Yeah.
transition.
How's that trophy
over
case of
to-
yours? It's quite empty, I believe.
Yeah, they got to dust it.
We'll start with the positive. We'll start with the positive that transpired on the basketball court yesterday. This is at the Kohl Center in Wisconsin women's basketball, and their 74-46 win over San Diego. They hit 67 points exactly at one point on Kids Day.
Cross court in the left corner. Rhodes on that left side, stolen away. There's going to be Shea Bolin. Fires it up ahead to Spasovsky. This should be a layup. It's up and it's good. And the moment all the kids have been waiting for. Wisconsin 6-7. San Diego 39.
Oh,
What is 6-7? It's not really anything.
Reed Magnum on the
Oh,
call.
well
on
done,
10:70
well done,
the
Reed.
game.
That's
it's
good stuff.
nothing. Nobody knows what it means.
Because it doesn't mean anything. Reed's
They
right.
gave them the little like sound things, you know, the tubes that you hit on,
Oh yeah,
inflatable tubes.
Yeah, the thunder sticks. Yeah.
noisemakers, whatever. They're all going nuts.
Yeah.
6-7.
It's like I said, it's just it's going to be a cultural touchstone point at some point. And the kids of today that are 14, 15, 16 years old, they're going to look back on it in 20 years. And it's going to be one of those VH1 retrospectives about, the 2020s, when it's like 2045 or something like that. And I'm in a nursing home and I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, just like the 2010s video when we'll have the Harlem Shake, when that comes. Because all those Harlem Shake videos, just one random person moves and all of a sudden everyone's just going crazy.
Yeah, it's just a cultural touchstone. It's harmless. And listen, for all the nonsense the kids have to go through nowadays, let them have it. It's fine.
It's incredible. I mean, it's incredible.
And the moment all the kids have been waiting for. Wisconsin 6-7.
Yeah, Reed.
What does it
Love
mean?
it.
Nothing. It doesn't mean anything.
Leaning into it. Yeah.
That's good. Good for
What
Reed.
is 6-7? It's not really anything.
It's not really anything.
Good for Reed.
Well put.
Yeah.
Well put.
Well, on the other end of the fun spectrum, the no fun end, Greg Gard was not satisfied with his team in their
Well,
largest
they didn't
loss.
hit 6-7. They didn't get that far.
They only hit 6-0 in a 30-point loss, the largest in his tenure as a head coach here at Wisconsin. Here's his opinion on their defensive issues.
We haven't had a defensive identity all year. Everybody gets all rah-rah about our offense, but it's the other end of the floor that's caused us the trouble. And obviously tonight it was credit to Nebraska. They beat us every way possible. There's not another facet in the game of basketball that they couldn't kick our rear end with. They did it all. We don't have a defensive identity. Haven't had one all year. So we'll search to find one, and I'll find guys that want to play defense. Sit guys on the bench. Changes. We'll find out in the next 9 days, right?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Wow. Salty.
Fired up.
Good.
And he needs to be.
Good.
Yeah.
But
That was, I'm sorry. And Greg Gard knows this. I'm not telling him anything that he didn't kind of already say right. That was an embarrassing effort last night.
Yeah.
poor
Not good.
performance, as bad as it gets. My question for you guys is, how much trouble are they in?
They might be
Because
in
it is
some.
imperative that they play defense. I don't care if they put up a bunch of points every night. What happens if they can't make shots? They lose by 30? Is that the case?
Maybe. I mean, you look at this Big Ten conference right now. Michigan's ranked second in the country. Purdue is ranked. They're a top 10 team. Michigan State's a top 10 team. Right now, Illinois is ranked 13th in the country right now. This is a good league. It's always a good league. This is a really good league right now. And they ran into a really good team last night in Nebraska. They're now 10-0, ranked 23rd heading into the week. But this is what I said about the football program, too. This is your league. And this is the league that you play in. So you better fix what's going wrong with the program. Otherwise, we're all going to look pretty dumb about saying how good we've all thought that this men's basketball team was at the beginning of the season. So far, there have been times where they have looked like we have completely overrated this basketball team. And last night was one of those points.
Yeah, maybe what it was the fact that I was not on the J&K Security Solutions basketball postgame show last night. They knew I wasn't there, and they're like, oh, man, no Dave. I mean, this is going to be a tough one.
What's probably their excuse most of it. For BYU when they lost by 28, Dave? You did that postgame.
Well, at least they didn't lose by 30.
Yes.
So,
okay, well,
that's a good point.
Dave's argument kind of fell apart a little bit with that. Never mind, go on.
But still, yeah, I mean, if you keep playing like that, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. But I mean, when they played Northwestern, I mean, they looked really good, but they had the struggles there in the second half, defensively. So I think as Guard pointed out, like they've been able to get away with some lapses on the defensive end and some struggles there because their scoring output has just been fantastic. I mean, they've been able to score 90 plus points for a good chunk of the games this year. But when you don't have that defense, when you have those struggles and your offense falls back a little bit, you end up losing those basketball games. So, a lot of things that they're going to end up having to clean up. A lot of those defensive issues may be masked because of the offense that now just got unmasked completely by Nebraska.
Well, we'll end with this. A leader on the team, third-year forward, Nolan Winter, shared his frustrations after the game as well.
Yeah, I think it's every day in practice with that. Being a Badger, it means a little more, especially the ones that have been here for 3 years now. We understand what it means, and there's expectations that come with it, whether it's in practice or class or on the court or in games or whatever it is. And obviously, we aren't doing a good enough job of really presenting that physicality and what it means to be a Badger. So moving forward, it's on us as returners to show everyone, how to succeed in the Big Ten and what's going to take moving forward.
Did they banish him to the boiler room for that comment?
I don't know,
My
and
goodness.
I'm sorry. It's like those metal sheets they use for thunder and production, like feeder. Yeah, something happened in the middle in there, and I probably should have removed it. But he was talking in the midst of it. I couldn't. Who needs to set the example and get his teammates right? Is it Nolan Winter or is it John Blackwell? Because they have three guys who were on the court with this team last year, none of which are even seniors. Right. So there was a vacuum of leadership and someone needs to take command. My question to you is who needs to?
I think you mentioned those guys. You don't need to be a senior to be a leader. I think Blackwell, who's the best player on this team, he needs to be a leader. Certainly, Winter's got to be a leader. Boyd, I know he's a newcomer, but you're talking about the guys. Yeah, you need guys that are experienced, that have been through it a couple of times, that the guys respect in the locker room. Sometimes that's the star player, sometimes it's not. And I think if you have your best player, in this case John Blackwell, be also a leader, that can help. But yeah, I mean, this team has had its struggles, and you need to have somebody that you can respect. It's got to be one of those guys that is somebody that you can look up to if you're a younger player. I think there's talent on this team. There's no question. But yeah, I mean, it's incumbent upon everyone, I think.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Isaac Guard, coming off the bench. He's got to step up into that kind of role. Listen, Coach's kid, he's a senior. He's been there.
Coach's kid did well last night on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the leadership, Isaac? No, I'm just kidding. He's been great.
I should be more fair when I say only three guys are back with this team from last year. Three guys who play are back this year. Guard is here. Greppy's here. Jack Robinson is still part of the team. Like, these guys are still here. They're just not playing.
Regular pieces of the rotation.
Right. Right. Yeah. Maybe Guard Isaac can rally the troops at practice.
Yeah. Maybe
he can
be that guy.
Listen here, guys. I didn't stay here to ride this bench and play on this team unless we're going far. They're like, yeah, we got to do it for you, Isaac. We got to do it for you.
Listen,
That's what the
if
student
they
section
respect
is
him
doing
as
it for.
coaches. Listen, coach's kid. I don't know what his future is going to be. I don't know if he wants to go into the family business because Coach Guard's dad was a coach as well, wasn't he?
I believe so.
I think he was.
Yes.
So I don't know if he wants to go into the family business or not, but
Jeff's
he
a
could.
coach at Platteville.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, I think it's got to start with Blackwell, and then it's got to go maybe over to Winter, and then maybe it filters down after that. But
He's a personal finance major.
oh, good for him.
I
A
see
personal
God.
finance major at Wisconsin. Maybe he doesn't want to go into. Although coaches, if dad makes what $4 million a year or whatever it is, that's
Yeah.
pretty,
You
that's
got to know how
pretty
to
good.
manage those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, which is
I
why
think,
you have,
I think the future's bright for Isaac Guard. It may not be as a basketball player, but I think his future is bright.
oh, for sure. I mean, it seems like a just, great young kid. And yeah.
I played basketball at one point too. Didn't mean that my future was going to be playing basketball.
No.
Just yapping about it.
Yeah. Same with me, although some people still think that I should go into a playing career for it. But alas,
I'm on.
the skills not quite there.
Did you
I'm
play high school
on-
basketball?
Not high school. I played grade school.
Okay.
And we lost like damn near every game.
Were your coaches or the basketball coach? What high school did you go to?
New Berlin West.
All right. Did the New Berlin West high school basketball coach beg you to play?
No, he did not. He was kind of close to retirement. Then he retired. Then they brought in a new guy who in his first season ended up getting fired and arrested for smoking pot on campus.
All these things happen.
Yeah.
That
so,
happens.
Yeah.
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 Now
So
we know why Dave's basketball career went nowhere.
yeah. So,
Ripon was once again like picked as like one of the top high schools in the country. And I'm like, they've had 6 weird, terrible scandals in the last decade. Like, how does that work?
6 scandals in a
It's like
decade.
Michigan football.
Is a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, it's a very intriguing.
Which one stands out? Which one's your favorite?
Definitively the high school student who was sleeping with the hot teacher. Yes, easily. Ripon's
Was
17-year-old was dating
Okay.
the hot English teacher.
Hey, that happened in New Berlin West too.
I'm curious the gender of the student and the gender of the
Male student, female teacher.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That's
And-
exactly what it was at West.
Samantha Fitzpatrick's her name. Barstool did a starting lineup of best teacher scandals in like 2018.
Okay.
And she was in it. She was the 9. She was hitting 9. They said, who better to have as your second leadoff hitter than Samantha Fitzpatrick? And they had a little blurb about it. Easily my favorite because all the other ones are terrible, heinous acts. So it's like,
like
I
that
gotta
one
pick the
isn't?
one. That one's like nice. You know what I mean? Like we're dapping up the kid we all knew for a year. And then
See, that's the
eventually came to
difference.
light.
See,
That's the difference.
That is double standards at work.
Yeah,
There is a great double standard because if it was a male teacher and a female student, not cool. Absolutely not cool. You know what I mean?
right.
I believe the female teacher and male student is still kind of not technically
it's
not
terrible.
cool, but
It's terrible, but like it's
Yeah.
for the boys, you know? Yeah, I mean the boys.
Well, you were
can be like,
so you were dapping the student up. How
Yes.
old? So how old was the male student?
17.
Okay, I can't get too mad about that. I'm sorry.
it's-
I know it's awful.
Some states it's legal.
well, okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. But at the New Berlin West one, it was a 16-year-old, and like
Ooh.
yeah, she was calling like they released like the text messages that like she sent with like
Yeah.
the pet names and all this, like calling him baby boo and like all this
There's
stuff.
a
I'm just like, oh my goodness.
There's a
It was
Saturday
the
night-
night of her fiance's bachelor party.
Of course it was. There's
At a
How did
Motel
you
6.
recover? Dave, how did you recover? You okay?
There's
It
a
was not
Saturday
me.
Night Live skit.
Oh.
There's a Saturday Night
Not
Live
me.
skit starring
With
Pete
Pete
Davidson.
Davidson.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to because that's
She
kind of
texted me, let's get it on.
like
And what'd you do? I believe I sent the gif of a car turning around and driving really fast.
right. You have to watch that because this is what I'm imagining at your high school at Ripon High School, Nick. Am I off? Am I wrong?
Not necessarily, but like it was like the
It was
boy
the
who cried
greatest day of my
wolf,
life.
but in opposite order. Like we were telling teachers this was happening, and they would like laugh at us. That's not that funny, but and then like 8 months later, okay, she's fired. We've been telling you.
So was the male student? I'm so interested in this now. Was the male student bragging about it? How did you guys find out?
Yeah, male student. I mean, we were all hyped. I mean, she was a very pretty teacher. I mean, it's like one of those things, right? You grow up, it's like, the hot teacher, you know what I mean? Never could happen, but it did.
Sure
Did
enough,
for him.
Sure enough, it did.
She was married. They're divorced, I'm sure. Now.
I would think.
I would.
I don't
hope
know if
so.
she's still in prison or not, but
How much?
Yeah.
Let's see. I found
teacher in my
the-
scandal. She got out of prison. It was like 2 or 3 years. Like,
Let's see. Samantha
out pretty
Fitzpatrick,
quickly.
29. Now, this was from 2019. And I'm just reading from Fox 11 News in Green Bay from WLUK. Says Samantha Fitzpatrick, 29, was not sentenced to any jail or prison time by Judge Gary Sharp, but she must register as a sex offender. Fitzpatrick apologized in court before the sentence was issued. She previously pled guilty to 1 count of sexual assault of a student by a school staff member. 3 other counts, including child enticement, were dismissed. According to the criminal complaint, the male student was 16 at the time the encounters began. Okay, that gets a little hinky. The victim told police he did not have a relationship with Fitzpatrick, although another said he discussed it. Phone records showed sexually explicit messages were sent by the two. Also, a friend of Fitzpatrick's told police she admitted to the affair. The complaint stands. Yeah, once you get down to 16, that's a little hinky.
So then after the giant ad, mine is Warby Parker, but yours might be something else. That also says she resigned in 2017. So May of 2017. So I would have been 16 years old. You know what I mean? You know how crazy that would have been? 16 years old in high school watching this go down.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty, pretty sweet.
Yeah. Did all the kids start calling you names? Oh, yes, they did. The man. Big dog. My hero.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's kind of how it
my
was.
favorite, my man.
Yeah.
What
Lil
do you,
Pimp.
What do you mean by that? You know what I mean? Like my man. And with Kenan Thompson as the judge. Listen, that's the baseline. That's what you have.
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, one thing about Saturday Night Live, you may not agree with everything that they do politically, but oftentimes they try to at least speak some truth to power. And because what you've got with satire is there's at least a little bit of thread of truth to it.
A little bit.
That's what makes it funny.
Barstool has taken down their article.
Oh,
it says like grading the latest high school sex scandal. Dang it. I want to see what they said there.
Oily Phil blames Van Halen for their song Hot for Teacher.
That happened.
Yeah. Yep.
I believe this was off the 1984 album, released in famously 1984.
Doug, did any of this stuff happen when you were a high school?
No, it didn't.
It's everywhere.
It wasn't. It was now. I will say this: if it was a thing, it wasn't talked about. And number two, this was before cell phones. This was before the internet. This was before all of this stuff. Cell phones didn't exist when I was in high school. The internet didn't exist when I was in high school. Social media obviously could not have possibly existed. Our social media was dropping notes in, the pretty girl's locker. That's how we communicated back in the day. There was no sexting. There was no cell phones. There was no, dropping a text. There was no sliding into DMs. None of that existed. It was a simpler time.
Yeah, it was just hiding in trees, right?
Hiding in trees?
What?
What?
What's going on?
Okay. I thought you got
panty raids? I don't know.
Is that from
yeah.
What's the movie? Revenge of the Nerds?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
The panty raids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry. Although that movie was funny at the time. You look back on it, it's probably kind of problematic.
Yeah, a little bit.
A lot of things that were produced in the 80s. You look back on it, 16 Candles, maybe a little problematic.
Yeah, a
little problematic. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, You Got a Kiss for Daddy? Yeah, a little problematic.
Yeah.
Anyway. We move.
Daily Mail on Samantha Fitzpatrick, my teacher.
Did you have her for any classes?
I didn't. I was not young enough. I was not old enough yet. Could you imagine?
I was going to say.
Could you imagine if I'm
my
the kid?
teacher caught up in it. I
thought you were going to say I wasn't lucky enough. I swear to God, I thought you were going to say that.
At the time, we were all like, man, I wish I had Mrs. Fitzpatrick's class.
Yeah.
I bet.
Well, my teacher got caught up in scandal. I was in her class. And I was her student aide that year.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still wasn't me, but yeah.
Okay.
All right. We've gone long here. Long story short, Daily Mail says Wisconsin teacher lured student into romp sessions. That's one way to say it.
All right.
And this is sports.
And this has been Bruiser's Bites. All right.
A birthday edition of Bruiser's
The birthday,
Bites.
yes, the birthday edition.
Right.
of Bruiser's Bites. All right, stay
Brought
with
to you
us.
by Sharon
We're
Moore.
back after this on the game.
Teacher, I've got it bad, so bad. Teacher.
This is the Wishful Giving Radio event, presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Every donation will be doubled by the Dina Hatch Foundation up to $10,000. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Want to watch D.N.D? They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
I like him even more.
Just search 97.3 The Game. What does the future hold for our beloved Giannis?
Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agent Alex Saratas have started open conversations that are active right now with the Milwaukee Bucks about the realities of whether his future is best staying in Milwaukee or the realities of moving on elsewhere.
Make sure to stay tuned as we're discussing the latest regarding the Bucks icon here on The Game.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Journey songs that you thumbed up. Number 3, Separate Ways, Worlds Apart.
Someday love will find you. Break those chains that bind you. One night will remind you. Oh, we touched away on separate ways.
Number 2, Any Way You Want It.
Even for change. She said, any way you want it, that's the way it is. Any way you want it. Oh, I said, any way you want it, that's the way it is. Any way you want it.
Number 1, Don't Stop Believing.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light, people.
Hear more from Journey and similar artists now. Search for Journey on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1967. Van Morrison, formerly of the band Them, has a number 10 hit as a solo artist with Brown Eyed Girl. In July, LA band The Grassroots scored their first top 10 hit with Let's Live for Today. And UK supergroup Cream, featuring guitarist Eric Clapton, toured the US for the first time.
In the sunshine of your
And in September, Janis Joplin's band Big Brother and the Holding Company signed with Columbia Records and released their debut album. October of '67, Memphis band The Box Tops, including 17-year-old gravel voice singer Alex Chilton, have a number 1 hit with The Letter.
ticket for an aeroplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm a going home. My baby used to put me together. My baby used to put me together.
And in November, the first issue of Rolling Stone magazine is published in San Francisco, featuring an interview with John Lennon. The Who have their first and only U.S. top 10 hit with I Can See for Miles. In December, they smashed their instruments on the Smothers Brothers TV show.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1967, coming up. Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1974.
All the band on the run. Band on the run.
In January of 1974, the top-selling album of the year is released, Paul McCartney and Wings' Band on the Run. Bob Dylan, backed by the band, has his first number 1 album with Planet Waves. In February, Jersey City's Kool and the Gang have a top 5 hit with Jungle Boogie. New York City's Kiss released their debut, which sells 75,000 copies without a hit single.
Everybody says she's looking good. And the lady knows it's understood.
In March of '74, Canadian band Rush released their debut album, get a new drummer, and go on their first U.S. tour. David Essex has the first of many top 10 hits in the UK and his only U.S. hit with the single Rock On, which goes to number 5. And Steely Dan hit the top 5 with the single Ricky Don't Lose That Number, and have a top 10 album too with Pretzel Logic.
Ricky don't lose that number. It's
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1974. Coming up.
We call it Wagertainment.
All right, place your bets.
VSiN every night at 6. Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest on Fox Sports 920.
I hope the days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you want to go. And if you're faced with the choice.
Welcome back in. It's D.N.D. Doug Russell, Nick Brusewitz, Dave Gasper here on the Game Radio Network. We are in day one of our 2-day Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Unwrap the power of a wish. Donate right now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. You see the website and the number on the screen if you're watching us on our video stream right now. And you become a Wish Club member for $20 a month or by donating $240 or more. When you become a Wish Club member, you will receive a royal blue quartz and gold-filled beaded stretch bracelet with a Wish charm, a $75 value, courtesy of Kessler's Diamonds. Also, you can become a Kessler's Diamond Club member by donating $1,000 or more. You get that bracelet, plus a $500 Kessler's Splurge card that will be mailed to you after the event. The silver sponsors, Havish and Rotier, also Carmex and Design Air as well. And throughout our event, every donation that you give will be matched by the Dina Hatch Foundation up to $10,000. All right, this is our own Dave Michaels from our sister station down the hallway. He had a chance to speak with another one of our Make-A-Wish kids. He had a chance to speak with Brian.
Thank you for giving kids battling critical illnesses hope. Because while a child makes the wish, you are the one that makes the difference. By donating during our annual Wishful Giving radio event, you can do so by visiting radiowishes.com, or calling 877-272-WISH, 877-272-WISH. One of the Wish families we want to highlight is from Shorewood. Brian, nice enough to join me in studio. Brian, how are you? Thanks for being here.
Yeah, Dave, thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about your family. You're married?
Married, yep.
What's your wife's name?
Megan.
Tell us about Sully.
Sully, yeah. So 3.5, going on 4. Typical toddler right now, trying to go through all the things any normal toddler would, now that we're kind of out of the woods, hopefully, with everything as it relates to her treatment.
When you say out of the woods, Sully had a brain tumor.
Yeah, medulloblastoma.
You go to the doctors. When they were giving you the diagnosis, was part of you going, this can't be my kid. This happens to other families. There's no way this is happening to me.
On my part, certainly a lot of denial. I think maybe somewhat less on hers. She was getting straight into the mode of, okay, what do we do next? And I was a little bit more held back in that space for a while.
A common thread, not just this year during our annual Wishful Giving radio event, but over the years I've been blessed to be a part of. It's the parents are the ones who are supposed to be resilient for their kids. But in many ways, and it sounds like Sully is the same way, these kids have shown so much resiliency. It's almost rubbing off on the parents.
Yeah, completely. I mean, you see her, I don't want to say unaffected, but relatively unaffected by this and still with a smile on her face. So you end up, mirroring that.
So when Make-A-Wish Wisconsin approached you and your family and Sully about the opportunity to have her wish granted, that just had to have been a memorable moment, not just for mom and dad, but obviously Sully as well. You guys were at Walt Disney World.
We were, yep. Being there, seeing her face light up, her cousin who was with us as well, seeing her have a great time with her and experience that with her was really cool, since Sully's an only child. Thank you. And continue doing it. Keep doing what you've been doing, because we now see how much this can impact, in a positive way, certainly. It can impact families.
Your help makes a difference, as Brian just unpacked from Shorewood. That's why we encourage you to visit radiowishes.com. The site is radiowishes.com, and hopefully become a Kessler's Diamond Club member with a $1,000 or more donation. You can also call 877-272-WISH, 877-272-9474, and be a part of our annual Wishful Giving radio event here with Kessler's Diamonds and Make-A-Wish Wisconsin.
All right, thanks so much, Dave Michaels, and also thanks to Brian for telling the story of his toddler, Sully. Again, this is our Wishful Giving radio event. It's presented by Kessler's Diamonds. And you can become a Wish Club member for $20 a month or a Diamond Club member by donating $1,000 or more. All right, we're going to turn things over in just a few minutes to Drew and Hunter on the other side. But coming up next, it's our birthday boy. We got to figure out exactly how Nick is celebrating his birthday today.
Yeah.
Number 25. Are you going to go out and rent a car? That's what I think. When I turned 18, the first thing I did was bought a lottery ticket. And when you turn 25, I think you owe it upon yourself to go down to Enterprise or Budget or Dollar, whomever. Whoever wants to sponsor the segment. When you turn 25, it's time to rent a car.
Yeah, there you go. Get to Hertz.
Yeah.
Dave, have you rented a car?
Individually, no.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, typically, traveling, parents rent the car because, when you're going with the fam, they rent it.
Fun fact, when you get to be my age, I rent the car when I travel with my parents.
Oh, there you go.
I've done it the last 3 times.
I'm not at that age yet, so
you're not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy, pal. Exactly. We'll hit that coming up on the other side. Stay with us. It's the game.
Always give more than you take, but more than anything. Yeah, more than anything. My wish for you is that this life.
You are listening to the Wishful Giving radio event presented by Kessler's Diamonds. Become a Wish Club member for $20 a month, and you will receive a royal blue quartz and gold-filled beaded stretch bracelet with a wish charm, courtesy of Kessler's Diamonds. Become a Kessler's Diamond Club member, and you'll also receive the bracelet plus a $500 Kessler's Splurge card, which will be mailed to you after the event. Donate now at radiowishes.com or by calling 877-272-WISH. That's 877-272-WISH or radiowishes.com. Stay tuned.
Yes.
D.N.D will be back in just a moment.
Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1977.
September of 77, American duo Steely Dan released their 6th album, Asia. It goes to number 3 in the States on the strength of 2 top 20 hits, Peg and Deacon Blues. In October, the major label debut album by Meatloaf is released. Hits number 14 in the U.S. and goes on to be one of the best-selling albums of all time. Leonard Skinner released the album Street Survivor. 3 days later, singer Ronnie Van Zant and 2 other band members were killed in a plane crash. The album goes to number 5 in the States, and the single What's Your Name hits number 13.
What's your name, little girl? What's your name?
In November, Eric Clapton's Slow Hand is released. It goes to number 2, driven by 3 hit singles, Cocaine, Wonderful Tonight, and Lay Down Sally.
Lay down, Sally, and rest you in my arms. Don't you think you want someone to talk to?
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1977. Coming up.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Pat Benatar songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Love is a Battlefield. Number 2, We Belong. Number 1, Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
Hear more from Pat Benatar and similar artists now. Search for Pat Benatar on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
Now, a year in rock spotlight from 1977.
In February of 77, 60s band leader Manfred Mann has a new band and scores a U.S. #1 hit with a cover of Bruce Springsteen's song Blinded by the Light. In March, Foreigner released their debut album. It goes to number 4 in the U.S., driven by 2 top 10 singles, Cold as Ice and Feels Like the First Time. Philadelphia Blue-Eyed Soul duo Hall & Oates have their first U.S. number 1 with Rich Girl from their 5th album, Bigger Than the Both of Us. Fleetwood Mac's album Rumors is released. It's their second number 1 album in a row in the U.S., dominating the charts at number 1 for 31 weeks. It spawns 4 top 10 singles, including the number 1, Dreams.
When the rain washes you clean, you know.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1977. Coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Rod Stewart to reflect on how supportive his family was from the very beginning.
To become a singer, rock singer in their 60s, you know, it was uncharted territory. And nobody knew how long it was going to last. I think my dad was secretly a little worried about my future. Apparently my elder brother told me once that he would say, I haven't said anything to little Roddy, but I'm a bit worried about his future, what he's going to be doing. But it's so important. I mean, they all encouraged me. Both my brothers chipped in to help me buy a good acoustic guitar. So I'm deeply indebted to them.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Rod Stewart and all your favorite artists.
Well, it's Nick's birthday today. Nick Brusewitz, turning 25 years old. Do you feel a year older there, Nick?
No, I don't know. That's one of those things. Do you feel a year older?
Sometimes. When I turned 50, I think I did.
Yeah. You feel it in the joints. That's where it really kind of,
as I've said,
happening.
And Dave, you're going to...
I actually feel a year younger. I'm aging in reverse.
You're Benjamin Buttoning us.
Yeah.
So I said this last week, and Dave's going to experience this next year when he turns 30. Everybody thinks when they're facing 30, 30's fatal. 30's not fatal. 30's fine. You live your best life in your 30s, physically, I believe, because you've got a little bit of a life experience behind you. Your frontal lobe famously is more well-formed and developed. You figured a little bit more out about life. And everything still works. Now, when you turn 40, that's when stuff starts to break. So you got a long ways. You got 15 years before stuff starts to break. So I think so. You're fine. And I think that you should go out and celebrate by renting a car.
Yeah.
I will probably
you can
not
drive
be renting
outside
a
of the
car.
state and then drive back just to say that you left the state.
Yeah.
Just a quick little jaunt down to Illinois.
I mean, he's headed down to Miami next week. We still need some details on that.
You could head to Rockford. Well, I don't know if anyone wants to go to Rockford. But, you could head there and then turn right around.
I could. I won't, but I could.
I
Probably
could,
for the best.
But why would you want to?
Why would you want to go to Rockford?
No interest.
Head down to Beloit and just dip your toe over the state line. And,
that's enough.
Then come on back. Because Nick,
Be like,
we
"Oh,
also
it's terrible
found out,
down
went
here."
2.5 years without leaving the state of Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like going 2.5 months without leaving the state of Wisconsin. I mean, I love Wisconsin. Don't get me wrong. I just need to see the rest of
I
the
just left the state of Wisconsin and I want to leave it again because it's cold here.
It is cold here.
And Dave and I are kind of in the same camp. I had an expectation at some point I'd have vacation days. It's just not there yet. So I just been putting my head down and working and pushing through and hoping that that time will come. It makes my absence not cost me financially, but I might just have to, like I said, I just have to bite.
What are vacation days?
That's the question.
Mm.
The age-old tale.
Yeah.
That's what you just took for a few days.
Yeah. I don't know about
Ian.
about vacation days, but it's like
He was gone.
He was gone.
I was gone.
And you're
yeah.
gonna be
No
gone.
paid time.
You're going to be gone next week.
Yeah, it will be Friday and Monday the following week, and then we got a really interesting, couple of days off for the holidays. I'm going to be on the radio like once in a 3-week span. It's gonna be crazy.
Wow.
That's the holidays. We kind of
What is that?
start to shut things down a little bit. When the holidays.
Spend time with families. Provided we aren't sleeping with our executive assistants and getting fired from our day jobs.
Do you guys have executive assistants that I'm not aware of? So I think
no,
I don't have an executive assistant.
I don't. No, my my closest thing to an executive assistant is Google.
I saw someone try to blame him for hiring, anyone attractive. They said, like, this is your fault. This is why you don't hire attractive people to be your assistant.
It's his fault for sleeping with her, not for hiring her. I don't know.
Allowing temptation.
I don't know about
her
resume or what she has on there.
Yeah, she might have been qualified.
Experience.
I don't want to.
But like, it reminds me of either of you guys watch this show Suits?
I have not seen that show.
Okay,
Meghan Markle's in it.
Yeah, she is. But yeah, it's like a legal drama, and like during they get to like the later seasons, and Harvey's got to hire a new secretary. Because he's had the super hot secretary. She moves on to something else, and so he's got like all these like like hot blondes whatever lined up for his next secretary. Then he's got this one just kind of like old lady. Then he just kind of like looks at her, and she's got like 30 years of experience as a legal secretary. He's like, "You good at what you do?" She's like, "I'm great at what I do." "Great, you're hired."
Yeah.
Just like, nope, no distractions.
Sure.
Just get the old lady secretary. It's like, there is a reason you went for someone like me after having a secretary of someone like her.
Right. And I would never, if you're going to be an executive assistant or whatever job this young woman had, I don't know if she's qualified or not.
Yeah.
I know that she's a very attractive young lady. I mean,
and $100K a year is pretty nice for an executive assistant.
It's really nice for an executive assistant. She's 31 years old. He doubled her salary, I think, if I'm not mistaken there. So, I mean, there's clear boundaries that were crossed, not to mention the fact that he's got a wife at home with 3 small children, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, minor detail there.
But there will be more chapters written about this. Nick, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Go celebrate it. Is your girlfriend taking you out or anything?
Yeah, we're gonna do some hibachi tonight.
Nice.
Ooh, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. We will do this again tomorrow. We've got Drew Olson and Hunter Baumgart. They're coming up straight ahead as well. The Bucks play tonight. We'll talk a little bit about that, how bad they look. Boy, they need a win. But they also need to have their best player back at some point as well. All right. That's it. Thanks for joining us on today's edition of D.N.D. And we'll shower up and be better tomorrow.